that people can come in and be here. We're still doing a little bit of setup because there's a lot of setup in this game, but we've done most of the setup. Do you want to be the engineer and the scientist?
I'll be the scientist.
Okay. Engineer's key here. Can I be orange?
You can.
Otherwise, it's just gonna confuse me.
You can make Wookiee yells and bang on stuff with a wrench.
Steve told me I should wear my NASA hoodie, which, you know, is fine. I feel like Chewbacca offering free hugs is just as appropriate for this game. I don't start with morale.
I think you have an uncommonly strong immune system.
You're
small in stature and you're vegetarian. You were a rebellious child who dropped out of school twice, and you settled after marriage. And you headhunted for the mission as an excellent computer programmer. You're fluent in 4 languages with a phenomenal memory, and you rarely deviate from your established habits.
That's not me at all. I get to pick side. Ooh. I don't like any of those.
Do you want to be married at the age of 21 with a large family?
I don't care. I don't think they're relevant. They're not, actually. Okay, so what Steve is, there's these ID cards that, like, give you, I guess, role-playing incentive. I don't really know. I think they probably have more to do with the campaign stuff. For the standalone mission, these ID cards that they give you are just, they're not useful. So yeah, this is the game. It's set up upside down right now to make life harder for you. Let me fix it. Just really quickly here.
Is this where we flip the table?
Whoosh! Amazing! So there we go. Let me flip it on this camera so it doesn't confuse you even more. Whoosh! Alright, that worked. Okay, so we also, oh yeah, can you get the, great, yeah, I guess. So we were going to hook up the iPad to the screen so you all could see it, but it doesn't actually do like a ton for the standalone mission. For the campaigns, it's a bit more involved, but for the standalone, it's not. So we are kind of going to run it the low-tech way, where we just show it to you. That's fine. But hello and welcome to us playing First Martians Adventures on the Red Planet, designed by Ignacy Trevzik. Rodney said it today. I watched Rodney's watch it played. It's Trevzik, I think. Maybe. Eden wants to know how long the first scenario runs for. I played it, I had to take breaks because sitting is really tough for me, but I played it in, I think, 2 hours today, but that was like with rules learning and setup and like having to take breaks. And Steve played it in 6 hours with having to read the rules himself, sleeping, and also dealing with his wife and his dog.
And reading it multiple times when I had questions.
Steve didn't have Rodney. So I cheated and waited for Rodney's Watch It Played video, which is actually linked down below in the doobly-doo. It's 50 minutes long, but it's very effective. And I wouldn't recommend doing just Rodney's video. I would recommend also reading the rulebook. Maybe watch Rodney's video first and then read the rulebook if that is in better order for you. But basically, if you need to look up stuff during the game, having a familiarity with the sections of the rulebook makes lookup so much faster. So there's that. But I'm pretty confident that Steve and I will be able to play this in an hour easily. Probably 45 minutes. Because we know how to play.
Yeah.
So, maybe even less, honestly. I think we're gonna rock this.
Yeah. I mean, we've both played the scenario once, so it should go a little quicker.
So what is the scenario and what is this game? This is First Martians, Adventures on the Red Planet, which is kind of Robinson Crusoe on Mars, which is a movie on Netflix, which you should totally watch.
You should totally watch Robinson Crusoe on Mars.
Yeah.
I'll probably put that in a comment.
You should. No, I'll just put it in the doobly-doo. It'd be great. So this is Robinson Crusoe on Mars. So the idea is that we are astronauts. We have gone to Mars. There are, in theory, 4 of us, but the other 2 are off doing something else. We don't know where they So it's just Steve and I and our automated machines, which are called AOMs, who are helping us do some preliminary setup and like things to make our base, the hub, which is here, be more at home. So this is the hub, and this is the pre-ordered Martian wash one, so it's kind of orange because it's covered in Martian dust. So,
yeah, it's orange with the dark wash on it. Also, Dawn in chat says Chevachek.
Shavachak. Okay then. All right. I will try and remember that.
I'll just go find the Twitter contest.
Oh gosh. Okay, so we're playing Make Yourselves at Home, which is the recommended starter scenario. It's for 1 to 3 players. If you're playing with 4 players, you're going to need to play a different starting scenario. But when you play with 2 players, you each have an astronaut. So I am playing as the engineer.
Oh.
What?
No, it's not for 1 to 3 players.
1 to 3 players only.
You only play 7 rounds in 1 to 3 players. If you play 4 players, you stop at round 6.
Got it. That confused me. Okay, there we go. See? I have comments about iconography in this game. But I am playing as the engineer, which I have this awesome tag. I gotta remember it's flipped towards us. And Steve is playing as the researcher.
The scientist, biogeochemist.
Yes. And also, I just want to point out, the back sides of these are blank, but still totally valid for playing with. And apparently there's a maker on the Portal website online where you can go and make your custom characters.
Oh, very cool. I was going to say, because that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so each of us has 5 health, which is like denoted by a cube in our thing. And our base has a lot of systems. Turns out living on a foreign planet is kind of involved.
Yeah, it's compared to Robinson Crusoe, with which this is a similar system, a modern future Mars base is a little more complicated than our lean-to on the island.
Yeah, a little bit. So this system, this track up here, these are all the system blocks that basically make us, live. So we have our oxygen systems. We have 2 oxygen systems. And then we have the solar panels, which provide us energy to power everything. Then we have a farm, which we will use to produce food. We actually don't start with that much food.
It's one per astronaut.
No. Yeah. Rodney, there was a correction from the publisher.
Really?
Yes, for Rodney's video. Because the point of the first mission is to set up the backup farm to get more food, you actually have 1 less food than you need.
Oh.
But so there was comments on his video about that today. Anyway, we're not going to do the setup. I would recommend we're doing the setup according to how Rodney does the setup in his Watch It Played video, linked down below. You can, if you just watch, the setup is the first 8 minutes. So if you're watching this video to try and learn the game, at least watch the 8 minutes of setup from Rodney to help you set up your board, okay? I will race through the different phases and systems of the game, and you will see how they work as we play. But, so, like I was saying, this top track system up here is kind of the stuff that keeps us alive. We also have a general supply track up here at the top, which will work for, which is tracking, like, food surplus, oxygen surplus, stuff like that. We might need to close the window. It's, like, too bright right now. Then we have our living block, which is basically our quarters. This is where we take care of us as people. So we reduce our stress. We heal wounds at the lab. We also kind of take care of any, oh my god, things are breaking. Also, this is of note, if you are playing with 1 to 3 players, you auto-include the auto-scanner, which for standalone missions, so that you don't need the medic to be able to heal, which is great. So then the bottom section is the working block, and so this is where you get stuff done with Mars. So this is where we do Mars exploration-y things. So we have a garage where we store our rovers called the Froggy and Scorpio, which are adorable. I really like Froggy. Froggy and I did some 4-wheel driving on Mars earlier today. Then you have the probe bay, which is used to gather supplies out from the Martian surface once you have kind of explored stuff. Then you have the lab, which is where you can do research. So for this standalone mission, we don't really need to do a lot of research, but we do need to do the lab to plant the seed, because the whole point of this mission is to start the second backup farm so we can grow more food, because currently we can only grow one plant. Then we have the working bay, and this is the one that lets us build and fix things on our base. So yeah. Then beside each of these segments of the base, we have malfunction decks. So each of these decks corresponds to the systems in this row. So the yellow one, sort of important, kind of. The orange one, a little bit more important. This is where you heal and sleep and like get better. And then the main system block is red because it's super freaking important, because if you don't have any action, I'm assuming you die. So there's that. Another thing to note is at the end between the tracks and these decks, we have how bad things are going tracks for each of these systems. And this will increase every round based on some die rolls that we will do occasionally. It'll also increase the more broken things are, the more stuff malfunctions, and when things hit 5 or above on a track, we will get one of these cards, which means something's going to go wrong. So that is this kind of section of the board. We do have a cargo bay over here where we start the game for this setup with some spare parts that we will use to fix stuff. We also have the dice, which correspond to each type of job that we're doing. And we have the research tracks, which is actually completely pointless for the first standalone mission that they recommend. You can basically ignore this in its entirety, and I recommend you do that if you're just here to learn how to play the game. This one right here, the system block, is kind of in charge of the overall, it just is an indicator for the overall health for each of the blocks. It all starts green with green cubes, which you can sort of see just barely. And as stuff starts to break, these will eventually turn to red cubes, which means that we will always be rolling. If a section has a red cube, that means you're always rolling the die. So, yep, coolies. As in Robinson Crusoe, every player will get 2 action pawns. Is that That's 2-player action Robinson Crusoe, right? That they do this?
2 pawns? What?
Yeah. Or is that all player
You
counts?
all player counts. You always get 2
So
pawns.
each player is going to get 2 player cons of your choice, and you can divide your actions accordingly. And as you decide to do stuff in the action phase, you can put both your action pawns or 1 action pawn. If you put 1 action pawn, if the space needs 2 action pawns, you have to roll the dice to see if you succeed or not. Otherwise, if you put 2 action pawns, you'll auto-succeed. Things can break, which will require us to have more than 2 action pawns on some places for instant successes. Some things will break so that we can't have an instant success, no matter how many people we throw at the problem, which is kind of fun. So we're going to see that as it goes. In addition to us and our action pawns, each of us for the beginning mission gets our 3 skills, and each player type has skills corresponding to their skill set. My base skill, which is always available, is I can spend a morale to reroll a brown die. Brown die is for building stuff, so I can possibly do better at building. And then all of my skill cards, which I can use once per round, kind of help with that. So they let me fix stuff, things like that. What about yours?
So I haven't played the scientist biogeochemist. I played the medic before, but I can spend a morale to reroll any blue die, which will be helpful only when we're planting the seed. The engineer ability will be much more useful. But for spending 2 morale, my other 3 things, one is when I draw a research card, I can draw 1 more, so that'll be helpful when we're trying to do the mission. I can...
They help you research stuff from the surface.
I can help do stuff that involves the greenhouse, basically basically I can have, I can help out with food, and I can give the other astronauts morale.
If you use stuff from the surface.
Yeah, from the cargo bay. So I think those
are but those cubes come from the surface.
Yeah, those are the blue samples. So.
Yep. So, we'll explore and get samples potentially from the Martian surface. He can do stuff with those. I'm trying to be concise. Okay, so that is kind of this. We also get robots. Yeah. So in a 2-player game, you get 2 robots, and you get to pick at the beginning of the game what robots you want. Steve and I have already picked our robots, and we put them at the top, but we're going to move them down now. We have picked the Autonomous Logistics Vehicle, fancy name for forklift, and yeah, it's really white out right now. Here you go. Fancy name for a forklift, and we have picked the mapping drones, which we have several flying above our neighborhood constantly. It's great.
Yep. If the dog was with us on Mars, she would be barking at the mapping drone.
Yep. What are the odds of winning this scenario? Well, I don't know.
We each played it once.
And Steve won and I lost. So.
And I won on the last round.
And I lost on the last round.
And you lost on the last round, so.
Yeah.
Probably close to 50. Also, when you played it, did you play with one less, Did you play with the one less greenhouse?
Yes.
Okay, because when I played it, I didn't play with the one less greenhouse. We should mention
Did you find the comment on YouTube?
So I found the comment on YouTube.
Okay.
So, for a clarification from the publisher, for this scenario, you're meant to start with one less greenhouses than the number of players, but it's not stated in this version. It's not stated on the app, the mission card, or the rules.
Which is weird that Rodney set that up that way and then said that Ignacy said to do that. So we're going to play it that way because that's what Rodney said.
And it does make sense. You start with a lot of food in this mission, but as it's in the rules, you will always be producing the amount of food basically and not need to go into it. So it makes sense for how the scenario is balanced.
Yeah. So we're going to do... So that's kind of like an overview of what we have. We also have like a general stress tracker. We have a morale tracker pretty similarly. Then we're going to we have randomized stacks of like Martian stuff. So if we explore, we kind of explore the map, a la Robinson Crusoe. And then we have the super important card, which is the mission card, which tells us any additional kind of like goals or bonus actions that we have available. So this is make yourself at home. So the whole goal of this is we need to build a backup generator, a backup oxygen O2 tank, and the backup farm to grow an additional plant. We will win the mission if we build the backup solar panel, build the backup oxygenator, build the backup farm, plant a new seed, I'm running out of fingers, find optimum growth conditions for our plants, which is we tweak a bunch of stuff so we get really good oxygen supply and whatnot. And then we have to make sure that our base is not totally screwed up to win. So we can only have 6 things broken max to win after we achieve all that. In addition, there are some bonus things that we can do, we're not required to do to win, where we can go and explore and recover some broken pieces of a satellite to get more parts, which, spoilers, we're probably gonna need. So yeah. What else is there? Okay, so we're just going to start playing. Yep. So we've done the primary setup from just kind of the rules book. Whenever you play a specific scenario or a campaign, the app will walk you through a specific setup for that situation. So Steve's going to start up the app now, and we are going to set up the stuff. So the app is there. Oh, did you already go through all the setup?
I was checking for the thingy.
Yeah. So, I think you just have to do the back arrows. Yeah. So the app will have like a little story. It says, it keeps track of our rounds for us, so you can do that yourself on the round tracker on the mission card, or you can have the app do it. So you're just going to go ahead and select that you're doing a, you can hold it closer, you can't really see it either way. So we're going to do the building missions because there's 6 standalone scenarios and they kind of each do different things. Oh my god.
It's like...
Just, don't tilt so much. I just want to show buttons, so I don't care about text. Okay, so we're going to do a building. Then we're going to say, make yourself at home, and then we're going to put in what characters we're doing. We're doing the engineer
and the scientist.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 of us, we each have an astronaut.
Select the pictures that we want, and then there's difficulty.
So we'll pick
medium. We're going to put medium, because Steve and I both did. Easy.
And then this walks you through the setup. There's basically different steps. It shows you the board and the things you'll need to do. Anything that's specific for the mission.
We need to do that. We need to... What was the oxygen? Yeah, I'm like... Yes, this is true, but what do we need to do?
Right. Okay, the oxygen and energy trackers go to space 12 of the general supply The food tracker is on space 10.
Yes, the first Martian sticker is not related to the game, I think, and it's just for fun.
We prepare the facilities, so basically green cubes.
Yeah, we did that.
Yep. The malfunction box,
Did
3
that.
greens. We roll all 3 malfunction dice and resolve the results. So this will make, as these 3 tracks go up, if any of them hit 5, we'll draw cards. So this kind of starts us off with things being not great.
A little broken. I'm going to zoom the camera in so you can see more.
And then we put these backup facilities that we're going to need to build, just put them next to the board. So this is our backup farm, backup oxygenator, backup solar panels, which look like these. As we build them, we're going to put them basically in the system block, but for now they'll just be off to this side.
There we go.
And then we get our astronauts and our skill cards. Put the research deck near the board. This is what we're going to draw from to figure out how close we get to the optimum conditions. And then the optimum conditions start at 0. Then we get 2 random upgrade cards and put them near the board. And did you already remove auto scanner?
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay. Put the card. In a 2-player game, you always have auto
Yeah,
scanner.
it's in the game. Oh, I didn't remove tech room, which is not in this one either.
Yeah, it says we can't use tech room on this mission. So our 2 upgrade cards are a server cluster and a games room.
Nice.
Which is great, because we might
destroy those.
We might destroy these for parts. In fact, we probably will.
So the upgrades, basically each of the locations minus the quiet space and the oxygen tanks can be upgraded, and the upgrades will just give you different benefits. But on your turn, instead of upgrading, you can dismantle the upgrade room, to just get spare parts. So basically NASA sent you the plans for a game room and the parts to build the game room, and you could spend the time in those parts to build the game room, or
we could take the PS3 out and put the supercomputer into the med lab.
Oh my god, the PS3 processors could totally run the med lab.
They could. I mean, we're gonna find out. Make it work. And we actually do have the games room and the server cluster, which the server cluster is probably all just old PS3s.
The little stickers are for the transparent discs, which track your oxygen and whatnot. So there's one of them.
Oh yeah, and those aren't stickered; those are just plastic discs. And then the last thing we had to do is we just get 1 of each spare part, and then 1 transparent cube, which is going to be our seed, which starts in the cargo bay.
Yep. Coolies. So
we're ready to go. I can read the introductory text.
Please do.
Welcome. This is an introductory mission about expanding the farm. For your astronauts, the hub has been a home for the past 8 months, but you are probably new to this game, so take your time to learn. Yet there will be more to it than simple practice. On the mission sheet, there are objectives to fulfill. In order to sustain the backup farm, you will also need some other facilities and a bit of tweaking to make the plants grow better. All of this was rehearsed on Earth. Now it's time to use what you've learned. Turn to the mission sheet now and begin your adventure on the Red Planet.
Let's do this! Oh, wait, we have to spawn... Don't we have to spawn some cards? Doesn't something break in the beginning?
Oh, it...
Wasn't there a setup where you could draw a card? Did you skip through that?
I don't think it said it, but...
Because I totally had to draw a card.
I had to also, and I'm wondering why it didn't say that.
Maybe that's part of medium.
It might be part of medium, because we both played on easy, so...
Yeah, so the setup is different.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to do it. Draw 1 complication working block.
So we do have to draw a yellow deck card, and great. So our working bay, the memory card's broken. So we have to put a red cube into the working bay. So if a location has a red cube in it, that means it's broken, which works towards the general malfunctioning of the area, which spirals and makes things awful.
And those also will have specific effects that we'll get to if we use it.
Yep.
Okay, that was a good catch.
Cool. All right.
All right. So the mission objectives say.
All right, we went through all this. Oh, the story.
Yeah. But yeah, the mission.
We did that.
Yeah, the sheet, it basically just says, food is an important issue, so we're going to learn how important it is.
Okay, so we start the round. So something bad happens. So this is the something bad.
So this is the events phase. The first thing that happens, the malfunction goes up by 1 in the block indicated above, which is the living block.
So I did that.
And then we're now going to have an event.
Do you want to show it?
So
these are the event cards. So they basically just show the starting player or just one of the characters.
I don't know why this is so hard.
Go down. There you go. Because you try to hold it up so high. There you go. That's good enough. I just want you to show it. You know, the text is super
there was
tiny.
a faulty operating procedure for Andrew, and Andrew is me. The events all happen to a specific character.
Trevor's first.
Log entry. I'm sure the manual told me to do exactly this.
What'd you do, Andrew?
Draw 1 living block malfunction card and resolve its effect.
Damn it, Andrew. It also auto-generates names, and they are not gender related, which is great. Issue, control center, restoring data from the backup. Oh, you were doing a system backup.
Well, because the working bay had that
Swap
problem.
the malfunctioning levels on the working and system block tracks.
Oh, wow.
Well, they're both 2, so it doesn't matter. Good job.
Yeesh.
Okay.
And then the first player discards or gains morale, which happens every events phase, but our morale is at 0, so that doesn't happen.
Yep.
And then we move, so that was the morale phase, and we move on to the production phase.
Yep.
Okay, so there are a bunch of different steps, but we generate...
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing we do is we're going to generate energy and oxygen. So we look here, and each of our solar panels are running at full efficiency, which means each one can power 5 things.
And we can tell, we have a clear block, which is in the top section of those.
Yep.
Top cutout.
So, because we have 2 solar panels running at top efficiency, we can power 10 things. Incidentally, the things that need power have little lightning bolt symbols, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things that need power! What a coincidence. So we're fully operational on energy right now. If we had a surplus of energy, we would store our surplus, divided in half, rounded up, in our general supply. So if we, for say, built a backup generator, which gave us 4 additional power, and if we weren't using that 4 additional power, we would get to store 2 of that additional power in our general supply every round. But we don't have that yet. That's one of the things we have to do.
Yep.
The other thing is oxygen, which is the same story, but oxygen only powers, each oxygen O2 tank only powers 4. The oxygen generator can only produce 4 oxygen at peak efficiency, and we have 2 of those, which is 8. And the things that need oxygen, we have 8 of. And so, again, if we want to make a backup farm, we're going to have to make something like a backup oxygenator to provide oxygen to that farm.
Now, if we look at the backup oxygenator, it needs power. So
it needs power, to do its work. So there's somewhat of an order of what we have to build stuff. So we don't have any surplus oxygen or energy, so there's that. So then we have food. So we have 1 greenhouse, which is denoted here, with 1 fully formed plant. Each plant provides enough food every round for 1 astronaut. So one of us gets to eat. The other one doesn't.
Well, one of us gets to eat potatoes. The other gets to eat bags of freeze-dried Fritos.
Yep. So you have to feed every astronaut in this phase. So Steve, you can have some potatoes, and I will have some freeze-dried stuff from the general supply.
Okay.
If there was not enough food from plants being generated or in the general supply, you would take a wound because you're starving. So that's not good. So we're only going to play 7 rounds, or souls, because that's the limitation on this mission. And we start with 10 food. So unless we kill our plant, which could happen, we're not going to die from starvation in the time it takes us to get this plant up.
And I think it's either in this phase or in a different one, but if you don't have enough power or oxygen for the farm, your plants will wilt.
Mm-hmm. It's this phase.
It's this phase, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so that's food, that's consumption. Then we look to see if anything's broken.
Stress, actually.
Is stress next?
Yep.
Oh, stress. So, because we live in a tiny space, cramped together, we're just generally stressed. So you'll gain stress equal to the number of astronauts, which is 2. So we gain 2 stress. Then we look to see if anything's broken. So if anything's broken with the gear icon, which nothing is, we just have a broken CPU down here, we would do the penalty of the gear icon on the thing that was broken. So, for example, if our med lab was broken, if this was like this, we would increase the malfunction track for our living block
It's
by
working block only.
Is it?
Yeah, it's working block.
Working block red.
Yeah.
So when does the bad... Oh, right. Yeah.
Those
so
are
it's only these, and then they will affect us being able to work.
Yeah, for example, if the
we'll
garage...
do that when we get there.
If that happens,
we
we'll
don't have
deal
any
with
of that.
Also, if we didn't have enough oxygen or power, we would have had to shut down facilities. It'll probably happen, so we'll go over that when that happens. But basically, you'll have to start turning parts of the base off if you're not making enough oxygen or power.
The good news is if they're turned off, they can't be broken. The bad news is it causes us stress when stuff's turned off.
Yep. Okay, so that was the last thing, the broken things in the working block, of which we don't have any. So now we go on to the actions phase.
Yep. Okay, so actions, this is very similar to Robinson Crusoe, if you're familiar with that system. Basically, we are going to, Steve's going to start, he's going to select the actions that he's going to do. If he wants to use one of the robots, he can use one of the robots to assist him. He can actually use both robots. Or he can make the robot go off and do its own thing. Do we have any event currently up? I know that, don't.
Yeah.
Do we have an event that we need to solve?
Yes, we do. So because I
screwed up the system,
I can reread the instructions. So spend 1 pawn to gain 1 morale token, and then prevent the future consequences from having the future...
Is that 1 or 2?
1.
Okay.
That's 1.
Alright, so we do have an event that somebody will have to deal with eventually, but we have 3 rounds to do with it.
And notably, the event doesn't have a type, so we can also send the robots to reread the operating logs.
Yeah, we can just have the robot do it. So the robots can only do specific tasks within the working area that they're good at doing. So the mapping drone can help explore. The autonomous logistics vehicle can help us build stuff. The other robots can help in those areas. We're not using those robots this game. Or these robots can just help us with general events. They can just be kind of a helping hand. And yes, Kabuki Kid, Rodney did a video, and it's linked down in the doobly-doo, and it's fantastic, and you should watch that.
One thing, the robots are there to help out when you have less players, and if you were playing solo, you'd get all 4. You could just only pick 2Ds every round.
Yep.
So robots help at smaller player counts. They're kind of like the dog from Robinson Crusoe.
Yep, they're good. Okay, so Steve, we need to build a backup generator, we need to solve that event, and we need to potentially fix this working bay, because the thing that's broken in the working bay is the CPU, which means that regardless how many people we put into the working bay, there's a chance you could fail. You're always going to roll, while this is broken, we're always going to be rolling the success or fail dice while doing any kinds of repairs or upgrades or building. Like the generator, or the oxygenator, or the farm. All the things we need to build. So, we definitely need to fix that. I'm really good at fixing stuff.
Yep.
But I don't have any morale right now, so I guess screw that, is kind of what I'm saying.
And I also do not have any morale.
But, we have robots! So, this robot can help fix stuff. This robot can go explore. And then... you could go do an action or help the robot explore, and we can talk about exploring, or we can just focus on fixing this and building stuff.
One thing you could do, if you used one of your pawns to do the reread logs, you would get a morale token, which you could spend. Morale tokens, I believe, you get instantly, and you could spend it in the same phase on trying to build something.
I could, yeah. Or I could just use the robot to just build.
You can, but you'll still have to roll the success die.
Not if I use the robot with me. Not if me and RobotBot go out.
Well, no, because that's the complication of this.
Oh yeah, they're right.
Yeah, because of the broken CPU. So that's.
What are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do? I think so. We are going to need to use these spare parts. I think getting more spare parts earlier is helpful. We also don't want to build more than one of these facilities a turn.
What does our upgrades get us? We don't really need...
So the server cluster helps with research, and the game room just gives the first player +1 in each round of morale phase. This gives us a full spread of... If we disassemble these, which we have to do at the beginning of the action phase, we immediately get a power, an oxygen, a gear, and a CPU. So I say we just nuke them both right now.
I mean, I need that CPU piece We could put the PS3 CPU into the working
Yeah.
bay.
We do have a spare one already, but I don't think the games room is worth it. I think we're going to be tight on spare parts.
We just started playing, Catherine. So you missed our spiel about setup in general, what we're going to be doing, and how stuff kind of works. But you'll see it as we play.
But I recommend we just disassemble these right now.
I'm fine with that. So we're disassembling both of our upgrades that NASA sent us. We're assuming NASA. It's probably not NASA. It's probably like SpaceX or something.
It's the MCEI. It's the organization that probably involves NASA and SpaceX and all that.
Yeah.
So they sent us some PS5s and we just disassembled them.
We did disassemble them for spare parts, which is a free action. Yep. So now we have a plethora of spare parts. Okay, so what are you going to actually do? Are you going to do you want me to do the event? I'll do the event. Are you going to take Froggy out and go roam the countryside?
Yeah. So I was thinking I can take Froggy out. One thing that's notable is just to go one spot with Froggy, it gives me 2 tokens, so I actually will only need Froggy in one pawn.
So, what he's talking about is each of the bots will help you in different ways when you go out onto the Martian surface, which you currently can't see the Martian surface because of reasons. So, the Martian surface, to explore, you have to use action pawns to kind of get out there. And then you need 1 or 2 action pawns, kind of the standard way to do the actual exploring. If you use Froggy, who's really good at 4-wheel driving, he counts as 2 action pawns if you use him for exploring.
Yep.
Scorpio, on the other hand, if you use her, Scorpio is just generally good at helping you with anything outside, but only gives you 1 action pawn.
Notable is every time you take an action outside of the base, it'll require 1 extra action pawn for every however far away
leapfrog you go. Well, we don't know. Potentially.
Oh yeah, at least 1 extra, but you'll always need to do more action pawns. So
you're doing that thing where you overteach.
Okay. So yeah, we're just...
Let's just get there.
Okay. So that gives me 3 actions, which is enough to do that. So I will explore there. It gives me an action token left. I can fix the working bay.
I mean, if you want to. I thought the point was that I would have the thing to do it.
Yeah.
But you could take the autonomous logistics vehicle and just fix it, and then I could roll in and build something.
Yeah, why don't I do that? So I'll... Oh, okay. But we want you to do...
I'll do that and build something.
Yeah.
And I'll have a reroll. Oh, wait, and then we have the mapping droid.
Oh, then you know what I can do.
Yeah,
I can send the mapping droids and Froggy, and then I can fix that, and then you can use my assistance, and then you can use your token on the event action.
Okay, so we're putting me on top. We're putting me on top on this one, so that if something goes wrong, I can help.
So then if you're building something, you put your token on the thing that you're building.
Are we building that? We are building.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to build the backups. Solar panels. And then I'm going to do the event, which is over there. So you put everybody's events, like what they're going to do, and to make stuff a little bit more helpful, even though the explore action is here technically, we put the pawns here, so it makes it easy to remember what you're doing. If, for example, something else was broken, let's say that this was broken instead, even though this is the fix stuff action, they recommend that you put your tokens over by the broken thing, so it's easier to remember what you were trying to fix, and it makes it harder to change later.
If you're spending any resources on it, you want to put the resources on the thing.
Yeah, so if you're spending a spare part, which you need, you would put the spare part on top. And I'm going to talk more about fixing stuff because it's super involved. But we're going to do the explore stuff first.
And this scenario is primarily about the engineer and building and fixing.
Yeah. So let's talk about exploring. Actually, no, we're going to do the event first. So the way that you resolve stuff is you do any events, resolution actions first. Then you do any actions there's no actions that you can do up in this section. This just keeps you alive. Is the camera smudged? Does it look smudged to you?
I think that's just glare.
Could you close the blinds?
Yes.
There we go.
That help?
Be nice if they shrink the one feed and zoom out just a bit on the other. You gotta tell me which is which. I'm assuming shrink us, like our pretty beautiful faces, like that, and then zoom out like that. Is this what we wanted? Okay, might help with the glare.
Oh, You'd shift it right too, just so that put the malfunction decks off. Shift to the main board right.
But why?
Just see more Froggy.
Oh, you want to see more Froggy?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So you resolve stuff in this order. So this is technically a build action, so we're gonna do that over here. We're gonna build over here. So we don't do anything in the living block. Then you resolve the working block in order, starting with the explorer. So we have some explorers happening, which is we are exploring here. Oh, but first we do the event. Sorry.
Yeah.
So this one's really easy. You just spend a person to do the event. And to do the event, can you grab the iPad?
Yep.
And pull it, just hold it closer. Nope. So to do the event, you tap the mission log, which is right there. You touch the event you want to do. It says, spend a person to gain 1 morale, prevent future consequences. You say, done. Mm-hmm. It's super important. Once you do done, you're doing the event. So yeah. I didn't mean to do done. I thought that just meant read it the first time I played. So I accidentally did a thing I didn't want to do. But I did mean to do it that time, and I get a morale token for it.
Yep.
So there we go. So I fixed Steve's backup error. What's up?
I actually didn't know that it's in this order.
Oh!
Yeah, I was checking the round summary card when I was playing.
Yes.
Okay, so I will explore this space. So I have 3 action pawns. That means I don't need to roll any dice. Nothing's wrong with the rover space. So I'll put the
mapping drone back.
Put the mapping drone back. One thing is you take the robot thing if you didn't have a player pawn. So technically this would be by me. I'll put it back, and then the rover will go back, and then
randomly draw 1 ring. So there's a whole bunch of each of the rings of the planet. So he will randomly draw the one, just the
So yeah, like
one
these
that
are the ring
at.
ones. I'll flip it over, and it is a canyon. So what the canyon says is if you are going through it, it is I think an extra minus. Oh no, they all have that. So the canyon is just there. I will get a point of interest token, which is one of these.
So the reason we know that we get that is on the corner when you reveal the tile right there. It matches kind of
the little like place marker.
That shape.
Symbol. Yep.
So that's gonna go on the. It goes straight into the pending here because we get it. Actually, no, sorry.
I think
it goes straight into available
yeah.
because you found it as you were driving around. Then if there's anything else on it, which this is a little cube, that means the blue cubes, which are basically samples. So that one actually goes straight there because you have to go and gather that. You have to pick that up as another action mission thing later. So Steve successfully explored. There is another icon on that tile, which is for a campaign mission, so you don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, some titles will have, when you drive certain directions, they will have a little, it's kind of hard to see.
I think, actually, they all have that. If you go into
some of
it.
Yeah. Some of them have it from other areas.
Like the shell pit.
You can't drive in one direction.
Yeah, you can't.
Stuff like that. So if we try to drive through that tile from the base, it's going to spend an action pawn to do that. That's what that symbol is basically.
Yeah, but the canyon is cool. And also, the thing I found was a beautiful vista, and we can immediately turn it in to gain a morale. So that says that there's a couple of these that are mission specific, and the mission card says it. So the beautiful vista is gorgeous, and we all get a morale because I told you over the radio how beautiful it was.
Great. Can I have my morale?
Oh, it's this morale.
Oh.
So first player is going to get one every turn because of how awesome that vista was.
Okay, so that was Steve exploring. So then we go along. We're not using anything to probe or gather. We're not doing any research. Now we're building. So with the building, we can pick what order we want to build stuff, which is sweet. We're auto-building everything because we're throwing 2 people at every problem. However, we are currently broken in that we need to roll the success die regardless of how many people we throw at a problem. And the way that this game works is because life can't be easy. So this auto success thing is currently on, which means that if we do anything in the building bay for this action phase, we have to roll this die. Even if we fix that problem, we are fixing that problem for future rounds beyond this one. So even if we fix this first, we still have to roll that die for building the backup solar panels. So, it doesn't really matter in that way. And, like, the backup solar panels won't be accessible this round anyway. They're accessible in the next phase / the next round. So, whenever you fix or break, or not break, breaks happen immediately. Whenever you fix anything, it is available in the next phase. It is not available in the current phase. Whenever anything spectacularly malfunctions or kind of blows up, it only is relevant for the next phase. So if we did something and, like, horrendously broke the working bay, which would be a yellow tile and a thing, that would not affect us this action phase. It would affect us on the next round.
Yep.
So, on that note, I'm going to try and fix this. Oh, no, that's you. Because you're using the robot.
No,
That's you and the robot.
Oh, that is me.
That's you and the robot.
Okay, so I do have to roll to try to fix it. And I get a success. So
Yep.
I got a check mark success. If I failed, it would show 2 morale tokens, so I would get 2 morale tokens for my determination at really wanting to fix the darn problem.
So we replaced the red cube with the green cube, and we're good to go. So now I'm going to build the backup. So what are you looking at? Stop.
Oh.
Just ask me. What do you want? I'm building the backup solar
fix
panel.
stuff fixed right away.
Nope. I
Nope.
just read the FAQ,
Okay.
the rulebook, and watched Rodney's video
Okay.
like 3 hours ago. There's a whole thing on the FAQ about that. It's not in here. It's in the FAQ. Okay, which you should read, and I realize I might have linked it in the description if you're playing this. Rodney has a FAQ thread that he is doing on BGG that he is... Not Rodney, sorry. Ignacy is doing a FAQ thread that he is maintaining and running as he gets questions. And so there's a lot of great clarification on that. So I am rolling to see if I succeed in the backup solar panels. I do. So I return your pawn, I get my pawn back, and we now have the backup solar panels. The backup solar panels are part of the main system block, and so I'm going to put it right here as part of the main system block, which I'm going to scoot that. Yeah, we're going to run out of table space. So, when a system comes into play, it's broken! I kind of built it out of spare PS5s and solar generators. I don't know what else we took apart. So the stuff's broken to begin with. Also, but even though it's broken, it's fully functional, which is kind of weird. So it is producing 4 oxygen, so you put the cube on that. It's just also broken.
We made it work. It's just, it's going to cause malfunctions and problems every time. We, like, jury-rigged it. I think that's kind of the implication. Like, it works, it just doesn't really work well at all.
And because that was one of our objectives for this mission in the app, we can go to the Mission Objectives tab and select that we did it. Yay! So there's a tab.
Build the backup solar panel.
You check it off, it turns green.
Crucially, it doesn't say in the mission card to do the white token at the top, but it does say it in the mission log in the app.
It's like, remember to do this.
Yeah.
It also says on this, remember to break it when you build it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
There's an interesting thing with this game where there's a lot that's happened. There's a lot of, like, rules tweaks, and different scenarios can have different conditions. And so you have to make sure you know the rule book, and then you have to make sure that you've read the app. Because anything that the app is telling you to do is more updated than the physical printed rule book. And they did that on purpose. So the app is going to tell you to set up things differently. It's going to tell you different rules things. It's going to do clarifications. So I recommend, if you have the app or you haven't played the game yet, make sure there's no updates for the app, because I'm pretty confident they're going to be rolling out updates probably in the next week or so with any rules clarifications or things like that as people need.
At the very least before it hits street date, because these are all the pre-orders. So.
Yep. Okay, so that was building everything. So that was the build phase. So we go ahead and say next round, which is kind of a misnomer. It actually goes to the next phase.
You say next round after this action phase, but it's going to take us to the malfunction phase.
Yep. So in the malfunction phase, we break stuff. So what we're going to do is we see if we're going to roll any of the malfunction dice. These are all green still, so we don't roll any of those. Then we're going to see if anything is broken, and nothing's broken because we're amazing and fixed it. Oh, wait. This counts as being broken as part of the system block. So there are 2 things broken, so we advance this twice. Because each of them next to the broken symbol tells you to advance it.
If it had reached 5, we would draw a card and things would malfunction, but luckily it didn't.
We'll do that when we get there.
Okay, so nothing malfunctions to have consequences to draw a card, so I'll hit confirm. And then we'll go to the cleanup phase. And I think the cleanup phase is we would deal with those yellow bad tokens and some other stuff.
Yes. The other thing that you do in cleanup is that we move anything that was pending to active, move the brown marker back up. If we had used any skills, we would refresh our skills. And then we go to the next soul. I become the new first player.
Okay.
And we're good. So then we hit next on the app. And it will tell us our next
soul
event.
2 out of 7. So the malfunction phase for this, or the event phase malfunction, the system block is going to go up by 1, and we're going to have to resolve a consequence. Which, because it's at 4, this is going to push it to 5.
So this happens immediately. So the system block bumps, it hits 5, it triggers immediately. This gets it back to 0, and we draw a red system card for the system block malfunction. Our solar panels nobody wants to sweep it off, apparently.
Yep.
They got dusty. So we actually lose 1 solar production, which would really suck if we just hadn't built the backup solar panels.
Yep. And we can choose where we want to lose the production.
Yeah, so we're going to lose it on the backup, because why not? And we now only produce 13 solar, which is fine. We only need 10 so far.
And because something malfunctioned, we have to actually start using malfunction dice for the next block in sequence, which is something that took me actually trying it to do.
So, because this triggered as a 5 and we got a dice, stuff's going to just start failing. So, you start at the bottom, so the working block is now going to be malfunctioning.
The blocks cause the other blocks in sort of a round-robin sequence to fail, cascade. And to cascade, and it mentions it in the play aid. So the system block causes the working block to fail, the working block causes the living block. And that'll mean during the malfunction phase, we will roll the yellow die in this. So I'll tap on the app to say we did the system block. Okay, so now you as the first player. Clouds of dust are apparently blocking out the sun for you, Andrew. So...
Man, that's why the solar rays
are
down.
You were asked for your opinion, and you advised us to switch on the emergency generators immediately. So, -2 solar production.
Ouch! Okay, so that...
these events are definitely a little harder and more brutal than the medium.
I don't know how to up our solar production.
You can't.
We can't. So there could be a chance, if we lose 1 more solar production, there's no way we can win the game. Oh no, we just start shutting systems down.
We'll just start shutting stuff down.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay. But the first player...
Did you update the app? It updated earlier today. Apparently, it already has an update. Don't update it now.
No, but I'll just... Actually, no, I'm not going to update it because I don't want it to...
yeah, we're in the middle of the game.
Okay, so you'll gain a morale token because you're the first player. And we got morale from that beautiful vista.
Mars is stupid, deadly, but pretty.
And it was by that canyon. I mean, it's gorgeous. You know.
Did you draw me a picture? Did you bring it back to base?
I drew like a crayon scribble, and it's still boosted
on the
morale.
side of Froggy. You did it in the dust. You drew it on the dust on the side of Froggy.
Oh, also the clouds of dust are blocking out the sun.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Okay, so now the production phase.
So we do energy, food, and oxygen. And we actually only have 1 surplus energy now. So 1 divided by 2, rounded up, would be 2.
And
kind
so
of funny.
you basically
we get 2 extra solar.
Yeah, you get half your surplus adding to the general supply.
Okay, so next is we do food. Again, I'm the first player, so I get to eat fresh food.
Yeah, we were fine on oxygen.
And so Steve can have the ration.
Yep.
So we're good.
It's delicious Frito pie. Okay, and then because
Nothing's broken in the working
Nothing's
block,
broken.
so we don't do anything there.
But stress, we do go up 2 stress.
Yep.
Okay, so I think that's
Hey, Blue Sapphire.
production.
Over in Twitch. This game is involved. Okay, so now we do our action. So I get to pick first. So I would like to repair the backup solar panels. There's not like an insane rush on that.
Well, one thing we could do so...
Oh, you didn't put the 7 out.
Hmm?
Also,
right.
when exploring this region, as part of this mission, when you explore this area, you find parts of a solar thing. So we need to go out and get that solar satellite thing to get parts if we want them. Which, considering the fact that every time we build something, it's broken, probably want to do that.
So we should repair the backup solar panels. We can either cannibalize something else or use our spare parts that we have. We do have a pretty good selection of spare parts.
Let's start just doing spare parts.
One thing is we are going to need 2 more CPUs for these other 2 things.
Yeah, we need more CPUs. So you could go get parts from the satellite.
Yeah.
To go get the thing. And
I
you can
think
take the mapping
I can
drone
explore the other one,
take the
too.
mapping drone with you. The mapping drone counts as a person, so you could take Froggy to get out there.
Yeah, I could take Froggy and the mapping drone to
Froggy
explore
is
the
only
next
2 if you're doing Explore.
Yeah, so I'll have to take Scorpio to...
Take Scorpio, he'll count as a person.
Also, I haven't seen what the event thing is.
The event.
So the event, use 2 actions and discard 2 power from the general... 2 spare power parts to automatically resolve and discard 2 shutdown tiles. Prevents future consequences. Okay, so we don't have any shutdown tiles, so we might just want to sit on that.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad.
It's expensive. For something we don't need.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whatever, those future consequences can't be that bad.
Can you... Yeah, and that's the thing with this being in an app and not in the cards. We don't really know what our decisions will trigger via consequences until you select the option.
Yeah, and in the...
You can always kind of cheat in card games, where you could be like, oh, well, if we don't do this, it's this.
Yeah, and in Robinson Crusoe, you could see what the bad consequence would be. What were you going to ask?
Are you going to go...
Yeah.
Okay, well, I get to go first, and you can't take Froggy. You can take Froggy to explore, but you can't take Froggy. You could do Froggy and the mapping drone to explore...
That's what I'm doing. So I'm doing...
the next spot. That's gathering.
Yeah, so I'm doing Froggy and the mapping drone to do that. So this is actually going to require 4 actions, but I could use one of my pawns.
Okay, are you going to take Scorpio?
Yeah, and then I'm going to do Scorpio to here, which this is actually only 2 pawns worth for gathering.
Yes. But you can roll. That's fine.
I don't have any rerolls on blue dice, but I think it's maybe better. Maybe I do that.
Okay. I'm gonna take my buddy, the auto drone. Technically, I should have picked first.
You do them in any order.
Turn order.
Really?
Starting with start player. That's why it's a start player.
Huh.
I read that part.
Yeah.
That's in the rules.
Wow.
We can check.
Yeah.
You're making the I don't believe you face and I want to reach for the rules. Just like casually drape your arm over me to reach the rule book. Playing games with Steve is frustrating.
Do the action.
I'm going to. So I think I'm gonna spend. I'm gonna be buddy with the autonomous logistics vehicle, the special forklift, and I'm going to repair. I'm gonna have it repair the CPU with our spare part on the solar panels, and then I will repair the engine part of the solar panels. Yep. And then
it's like Robinson. We discuss together which actions we want to take, and then we assign them however we want.
Okay. Okay. What's the point of me being first? Oh, that's
you get
right.
The morale.
No, I also get final say. The first player breaks any, so we could do it my way or the highway.
Yep.
Okay. I think I'm gonna solo build the oxygenator.
Okay, so
that's what I'm going to attempt to do. So I'm going to attempt to solo build a jet.
and you can spend that 1 morale token, so
Well, I'm solo doing a lot of stuff.
you are solo doing a lot of stuff. Oh, and then, yeah, you have that.
Yeah, that's why I put it near me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Notably, we're going to need to build the farm before we can start planting the seed and everything. So,
well, yeah, it's kind of a part of it.
But we have to do it in the 7 rounds. So.
Okay.
So I think we're good.
So we're ready. So the first thing we do, we don't have any events. We're not doing anything in the living quarters because why I live there. And then we're doing this row. So we are doing an explore. Steve is exploring South R2.
And because this requires 3 tokens to roll or 4 to be successful, I only have 3 tokens because it's 2 for Froggy and then 1 for the mapping drone.
And it costs 2 tokens to get out there.
Yeah, because it's 1 to go through this location and 1 for this location. You always have to, you can't go through unexplored, you always have to have an explored path. So we had to explore that before I could go here. So I will roll.
Okay, so he fails.
I fail.
Well, the mapping drone fails.
Yeah. The mapping drone fails, but because I was controlling it, I take the penalty. But in this case, nothing horrific happened. There were no wounds and no adventures that happened, but I do take 2 morale tokens.
It's way too dusty. There was that massive dust storm.
Yep.
So the drone comes back and Froggy goes back. And now it's gathering time. And so Steve took Scorpio out for the ride to do basically an auto gather.
Yep, because it's 1 distance away, Scorpio has 1 help, and I have both pawns, which makes it a success.
Yep. And this mission has a special gather action on the card for when we gather these parts.
Yep. I will roll the... So this is... It says from the Region 1, Region 2, roll the yellow-orange die. There's a clarification. For the Region 1, you roll the yellow die. For the Region 2, you roll the orange die.
Yep.
So I roll the yellow die for this region.
It's a 1.
It is a 1. So I gain 1 random spare part.
Oh, it's gotta be random?
Yep.
We need CPUs.
We need a lot of CPUs.
Oh, hello, Ichi. Welcome to Mars.
Yep. Oh man, all the Martian dust would get stuck in her fur. I mean, not that she should be out.
It's a very fine dust. Why did you grab them all? Just grab 1 of each.
I guess I could have just grabbed 1 of each, huh?
Yeah. So power. Surplus power. Okay. Cool. So now we build stuff. So I am 1 person machining a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to do the slightly important thing first. I will repair the engine part of the solar panels. So it makes them auto tilt. Wow! I did badly. I hurt myself. It's still really dusty, and I tripped, and I fell, and I broke my nose on the front of my visor. But I'm still got some good morale about it. I don't really know. Actually, I could spend a morale instead to re-roll. Actually...
This was the building the oxygenator?
No. This was the repairing this. So the part goes back. So that comes back. But that's cool, because I have enough morale that I can auto-fix something now. So I'm going to attempt to fix the CPUs. Hi, Ichi. Hey! I succeeded! Good job, Ichi! Because you helped.
So yeah, no wounds, no adventure, and you succeeded.
She was my guide pup. Mm-hmm. So she guided me out to the place. So I replaced the red cube on the CPU piece over there with a green one. And now, I tried to build the oxygenator! Woo-hoo! So that one I definitely roll for. Okay, I got blood in my eyes from my broken nose somehow, and tripped again, and broke my wrist this time. And we have a story! So, Steve, how do we do the story?
So, in the story, when you get a question mark, there's 3...
Oh, I also get 2 morale again, which is... Oh, no, wait! No. I'm going to spend a morale to re-roll this.
So, one thing...
Hang on. They're all independent. They're all independent.
No, I know, but one thing Tiffany mentioned, each of the 3 dice do different things. So the success die either gives you a success or you have to get 2 morale. The wound die either gives you nothing or a wound, and then the adventure die either gives you nothing or an adventure. And
I re-rolled and I failed again. My wrist is too broken.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
I'm so angry. I'm gonna scream, "Oh yes, I can." And discard 3 moral tokens to just auto-fix the engineering part on that. So, I might not have built the oxygenator, but I fully fixed the solar panels.
Alright, so your adventure,
Yep.
Andrew.
Yep.
Actually, funnily enough, the app gave us both the same name, so I guess we're twins.
There we go. I think we're clones at one point.
Recently, we've been struggling with keeping the generators working. The generators keep failing again. So roll the red malfunction die and resolve its result.
Oh, God. 2. Great. Okay.
Yep. Alright.
Okay.
Is that it?
That was a horrible... Yep, that was the round. So now we do the malfunction round. Nothing is broken this time because I fixed it come hell or high water. Which is great. Except for the working block is starting to just kind of glitch out because of stuff that we did do it.
Yep.
So I roll that, and it gets a little bit more glitchy by 1.
Yep.
So,
the malfunctions are analogous to the weather dice in Robinson Crusoe.
So there we go.
Okay.
So now we do Soul Day 3!
So then clean up, no yellow tokens. This goes back up to the top. I get first player.
It goes on your head.
I know. Okay. Day 3 out of 7. The living block is malfunctioning.
What's our event?
Heating systems malfunction.
Great.
We had an easy time with this on easy. Log entry. We could only think about finally crawling under the soft, warm blankets, but first there was the heating system to be repaired.
Great.
So each astronaut draws 1 condition.
So conditions are, if you get wounded enough, you draw a condition, or if something happens, you draw a condition. I am almost wounded enough to have a condition. I was poisoned! So every time I get hurt, it's actually 2 wounds.
And I'm anemic, so I eat an extra food every round.
Great! Speaking of food, that's what we're doing next.
And you can heal these at the med lab. You can either heal wounds or conditions.
Okay.
So
now we do...
Oh, first player. I get a morale because that vista was pretty beautiful.
Still thinking about that vista.
Still thinking about that vista.
It's like, my friend might be dying and poisoned. But that vista. Okay, so we are still producing 1 extra oxygen. Or sorry, 1 extra solar.
We're not now. Oh, we didn't build a backup generator.
No, we didn't.
Okay, good.
But Steve now eats 2 food. So there's that. So we actually might have a food problem unless Steve fixes his anemia.
That pending thing went to available.
Yeah, so this is looking great. I think that we should fix us, and I definitely need to build a backup oxygenator. And you should not be anemic, and maybe I shouldn't be poisoned. The good news is it only takes 1 to heal a condition.
I think we need those. Well, we don't need those spare parts yet, but...
We don't. Wait, we already spare parted 7.
Right, but I wanted to get 8 going.
Goes away. 7 goes away.
Oh.
It turned into parts. We took it apart. Okay, if you're gonna do it, you need to auto-succeed it. Because there's just, we can't... You need to spend part of yourself...
Yeah.
There, and part of yourself healing your anemia.
Yep.
And I will heal my anemia and then build the backup oxygenator. Okay. So I'm going to take the robot friend with me to build the oxygenator this time. And then I will go, and as a separate action, I will heal myself. So stacks of pawns are separate actions. So there's that. And I think that's us on our action phases. What's our main event?
Use a pawn and 2 morale tokens to get 1 morale and then prevent future consequences. So that's to calibrate the heating system. So we have 3 rounds left to do that, and then 2 rounds left to
we can have the droids do that next round. The droids could go fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Droids can fix the healing system. Heating system.
Yep.
Okay, are we good?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm walking away.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
So we do these in order. So we are not resolving an event, but we are healing in the med lab. So you can choose this in any order. We don't need to roll for these because these are single pawn actions. So I'll discard my anemia token, and Tiff will discard her poisoning. I think they probably just go to a discard face up. They could also go to the bottom of the stack. I'm not sure. We get our pawns back. And then we go to the garage hall. So to explore, this one is an auto success. Doing the second one. So I don't need to roll. Froggy will go back. I'll get my token back. Mapping drone will go back, and I'll draw a random ring 2 tile. And this one is planes. We lucked out. So planes has 1 sample. If you could grab me a blue sample. And we have the number 8 token. So this is a pretty nice region of Mars.
Nice.
Okay, so that's that. You ready to go to Build Town?
Mm-hmm. I just thought I would succeed. Also, thank you for taking care of my poison problem.
Yeah.
And then we build the oxygenator. So it, like everything, starts broken, but it's producing oxygen, which is great, and it's consuming that backup power we had.
And it has the consequences for being broken. It'll cause up to 3 increases on the malfunction track.
Which we do, which will break something.
Yeah.
So that's the action phase. Now into the malfunctioning crap phase. So we're going to be rolling the yellow die. So we roll the yellow die. Oh, great. It pops. And we increase this by 3 because the broken oxygenator, which I just built,
Yep.
is busted. However, yeah, there's something we can do.
We should have done the control center to manage to decrease the malfunction track if we knew that the oxygenator was going to pop.
Okay, it's too late.
I know it's too late, but that's one thing you can do is you can take the manage action to decrease the malfunction level.
We're screwed. Solar panels are struggling again. We lose 2 production and 3 backup energy. So you can't use backup energy to fix locations, but by losing 2 production on the solar, we have to shut down 2 systems because our system was basically locked. We were using everything. Also, I don't know why I shuffled that back in. I do know that my back is starting to hurt from sitting this long.
Okay, so that's... I'll drop 2 production. Well, we should probably drop 1 on that. Oh, that backup doesn't need... That doesn't.
I can't drop anymore. So just drop 2. It doesn't matter. Just drop 2. Okay. So we need to shut down 2 systems. We're not particularly stressed. Did we remember
Annoyingly,
to stress?
Shut down...
Are we on Soul 2 or 3?
We're
on Soul 3.
We're on 3, yeah.
You need to stress us. We need 6 stress. We should be at 6 stress if we're on Soul 3.
Oh, well, we're doing the solar panels first. Then we do stress after. So yes, but we don't do it yet.
Okay. So, do you want to shut down... What do you want to shut down?
Well, so the fun thing is things that are shut down still take oxygen. Even though they're shut down.
That's... No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, right, because the oxygen's not shut down.
Yeah, the oxygen's not shut down.
That's fine. We have plenty of oxygen.
Yeah, we do, but I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so med lab probably needs to stay up. The crew quarters, we can shut down the crew quarters.
We don't need to explore anymore.
We don't need to explore anymore.
Shut down the garage.
Okay. Where are the shutdown
Right there.
tiles?
So we don't need to explore anymore, and as soon as Steve gathers, we won't need to gather. But when once we shut something down to restart it again, it's like a process. So we don't necessarily want to shut down. Don't shut down the crew quarters. That's how we reduce stress.
I mean, we don't need to research yet.
Here's an idea. We're so low on solar. What if we shut down Sol 1 and change its power to be on the backup? So we bump the backup up by 3 again.
Oh, we can't shift them.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we could shut down the backup. That doesn't help us. We could shut down the backup. It doesn't
need power.
Yes.
But we can still shut it down?
No. You can only shut down the things that take it. I think the crew quarters, I don't know.
Do control manager.
But that's how we decrease the malfunction level.
I can do it. 2 morale. I just decrease it by 2.
It seems like a bad idea. Oh, these both popped and then they both go back.
Making it so we can't reduce stress seems like a bad idea.
We forgot to do this.
I did that.
From those popping.
Right. So this one pops, so that would have triggered, and
that
this one pops,
so that one's
triggered. Good
so fun. We'll roll the orange and the yellow die every time now.
I hope you're not here to, like, actually learn the game. The difference a day can make. Well, 2 days. Steve learned this from the rules last weekend.
I think the crew quarters.
No.
No?
No. We need that +6 stress reduction.
What about the lab? We're not going to need it for a little while.
No, because turning stuff back on is super tough. If we're going to shut it down, we're just going to leave it shut down. We don't have enough solar we can't bring it back up anyway. We don't have enough solar. There's nothing we can do to increase solar production.
I mean, there's other ways we can, I guess,
relieve stress?
Yeah.
No, there's not. There's another way that we can fix the maintenance tracks, which is me.
I don't know. I think it's a bad idea.
Robo hand jobs are not an option this game.
Boop.
My last game had some interesting events that happened. Yeah.
Spoilers: the Gatherer robot's really
but
good at reducing
the robotic
stress.
Manipulator is not in this game, so we can't use them.
Yeah, you can have the
No,
robots.
we should have done the stress. See? That's the beginning of Sol 4. We should be at 6. We just finished Sol 3.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Boom! Bad stuff happens. That's a big bad stuff. What happened?
Oh, is this... Wait.
I don't know what happened.
This isn't...
Read it!
Heating systems malfunction. It broke again the same night. The first player draws a condition.
Did we not have rounds for that? Oh, it just is reoccurring until we fix it. It's just going to keep happening until we fix it. But there was no way to know that in the app. That's annoying. Oh, also I'm first player now.
Did we forget to...
Forget to what?
Okay, I feel like we're off by a turn.
No, we're not. We did 3.
Okay.
Because the first turn, we built the solar backup. The second turn, I attempted to build the oxygenator, and I failed horrendously.
Mm-hmm.
The third turn, I did it.
Okay, so if you're the first player, you get a condition.
Great!
Poisoned again.
I'm poisoned. Did you shuffle that?
Yeah, the other poison's still down.
Crap.
Oh, and then the working block goes up by 1 malfunction. Then the event phase. Not again. It's like junk food made by MCEI for thousands of dollars. Yeah, complaining about our rations. Players choose half of the astronauts rounded up. This round, chosen astronauts must eat 1 more food in the production phase or each draw a condition.
Great! So we both eat a lot. So we need to decrease by 3 food. Yeah. Because we only have 1 plant. So if you can decrease by 3 food.
And then first player gets... Yeah, did we just skip a bunch of these steps?
No.
Oh, because we were just talking about the production.
Yeah, but you do events first, and then you do production. We did events, we did morale.
But we did the shutdown early then.
No, because the shutdown happens immediately. Or maybe we did it early.
Yeah, no, you did it early.
Okay.
The shutdown would have only happened after all this stuff.
Okay.
So.
Well, no, but it just happened.
Yeah. It's happening now.
So when you even if you shut down solar, you don't do the shutdown of components until the beginning of the round when you're supposed to shut stuff down, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is what we just did wrong. But that's fine. It makes literally no difference. Well, actually, no, it does make a difference because something could have broken in the areas that we... No, they couldn't have because that was part of the malfunction. It literally makes no difference. Unless there was an event that specifically targeted something we said was shut down. In which case, it would have mattered.
Yeah. Okay, so... I will be the person that has to eat an extra food.
Everybody has to eat an extra food.
No, it says choose half the astronauts rounded up.
Up. What's half the astronauts rounded up?
2 divided by 1.
Oh, right. Okay. But you already... Wait, are you still anemic?
No, I'm not anemic. I'm just keeping it as a reminder.
Don't do that, because that's not how you get rid of it. Just eat 2 food. Just do it now on the food track.
Let's do the energy...
Well, no, because we're in that phase. We're in the production phase, so just do the food first.
Yeah, but just do them in order. So we don't forget something.
You're going to forget the food.
So yeah, this is the thing. Because it's in the app, it's currently hidden, where if it was a card, it would be out. We could refer to it. Okay, so we shut down the control center, which is a bad idea, and the garage hall.
We get bonus oxygen, so we get 2 additional oxygen now. Why did our energy drop that much?
Dropped 3.
Okay. Okay. But we should have had 4. Oh no, because we reduced it. You're right. Okay. Hey, Vince. This is a stressful game. This is why I wanted the Unwind Center. Because I'm stressed.
It's almost like when the stress goes up, you're more likely to start a fight.
It's the food phase.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
It's the food phase.
Calm yourself.
You wanted to do it in the food phase. It's currently in the food phase.
Just calm down.
Don't forget to increase the stress by 2. Actually, increase it by 6 because stuff's shut down.
Okay. So, none of us are anemic.
Food,
yeah.
And then we do
And you ate
stressors.
one of those food.
I eat the plant. So then we do stress. So we do 2 because there's 2 astronauts, and then everything that's shut down is an increase of 2 stress. So we actually decrease by 6. So if we hit 18, we fight, and both of us gets wounded.
We're not already fighting?
No, it comes to fisticuffs. We clock each other.
The emotional damage becomes physical.
Yes. This is where we're getting in the real game, too. Okay.
Okay. So nothing's broken with the machinery part and the working block, and we did stress. Oh, no, so that other thing, that was the bad consequences of the heating thing, I guess, with the rounds left. It, I guess, ticked over. It had 3 rounds left. That was the last round was the last round we could have dealt with the heating thing, apparently.
But the heating thing happened last round. The heating thing happened on Soul 3. We have a tape.
I don't know.
Can you only have 2 events?
Oh, maybe. Oh, I think that's it.
But then why would the heating go? Because there was another thing before the heating.
Which we resolved.
No, it didn't.
No.
Heating was Soul 3.
I don't know. Maybe it's random, because this one is the solar thing. This is the last round to do the solar thing.
Yeah. Solar has been a problem for 3 rounds. Solar happened on Soul 2. Heating happened on Soul 3.
I don't know. It broke again.
So basically we can't ignore multiple events?
I guess. Maybe it only lets you have 2, because there's only 2 spaces. Current event, action, and past event.
Gen Con, I believe.
Oh, it's like Robinson. Yeah, there's only 2 events. When you get another one, it pushes the other one off.
Oh, but why would the heating go first? Because heating happened.
I don't know.
Okay. So then we have to fix one of those.
So to get
hey, we can remove the shutdowns.
Oh, okay.
And we wouldn't have to do the shutdown penalty.
Okay, so we need to do that. So that's going to be 2 action, 2 pawns.
Are you sure that's remove shutdowns from the system or remove shutdowns
Remove,
from the
discard 2 shutdown tiles.
From
Resolve and discard 2 shutdown
I
tiles.
have to resolve them?
Yes, but this is automatically resolved. Automatically resolved.
Yes, do we still use the parts and stuff that they'll want?
Automatically. No, we don't.
Automatically could still use the parts. If I automatically fix something or do an upgrade, I have to still use the parts.
It's automatically resolve and discard, so we're not even flipping them over.
If I repair this automatically, I still have to use the part. Boop, boop. Hi, Zizi.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's how I played it.
No, it's just repaired automatically. You don't have to use the part. It just gets repaired.
We need an FAQ. Can someone go look? If it says repair automatically for engineer player skills, I'm on it. Do I need the part?
Yeah, it automatically, I imagine, means you don't need the part. Okay.
Thank you for licking me, Zizi.
So for a diverse diet,
Zena knows that we're stressed.
Because-
She's like under the table.
because
being
our rations are bad. 2 pawns, heal a condition and gain a morale. Each astronaut
I
can
need to
take
heal my poison. This
Okay.
is bad.
So 2 pawns, you heal a condition and gain a morale. Each astronaut can take it once.
I'm gonna take the flying drone. The mapping drone is gonna help me heal.
Okay. So that's the current.
We actually could just have the 2 drones heal each other, but that's fine.
That's the current event action that you're gonna do.
Great. Great.
And then
Things are getting way worse.
use 2 pawns and discard 2 spare power parts to resolve and discard 2 shutdown tiles. So we need to do that. I guess I can do that.
But
That-
we need to
that
fix
is-
stuff. And we need to build the farm.
But that shutdown is going to cause us to get to fisticuffs.
Yeah, so maybe I don't heal my condition right now. And I just don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Does it need to be 2 pawns?
Yeah, they're both 2 pawns.
Okay. I'm gonna take... we could just put the 2 robots there. I think...
Yeah, we need to put 3 pawns on the oxygenator.
I can't get that hurt. If I get hurt, I'm screwed, and I can only reroll a dice once a turn. I can just fix it. I think I'm gonna build the farm. No, because if I build the farm, that's a lot of malfunctioning.
It's a lot of malfunction.
Alright, I'm gonna repair the thing. I'm gonna have the... Did you lock her out? Oh no, you just locked it. Okay. I thought you put her out and locked it.
No.
Like you were just like, I'm done, dog.
I need a drink.
That's why I went and got wine. This is stressful.
Can we play on easy?
Easy. The events were like, oh, there was a short in the system. Have an extra energy part. Like, easy was so easy, it was ridiculous.
Where's that cider you put in there?
I didn't put it in the freezer, because I didn't... You remember you saying yes?
Oh, I said yes.
I didn't hear you. Just go for vodka. There's vodka in the freezer. Just have vodka.
It's not that bad.
Oh, your sock is ruined. Okay. The name of our Martian base is O asterisk, I think. O4 asterisk, I think is the name of our base. We could send the mapping droid to do literally nothing. Let the mapping droid help you do the back-end operation for the shutdowns. And then you could, like, go and, help me repair. And then we don't have to auto-repair. Ta-da! I don't have to roll, and then we auto-repair 2 things. Otherwise, I could go to the clinic, and we could have the bot represent me in repairing stuff.
I think this works.
Okay. So do the event.
Okay, so use 2 pawns.
You don't need part would say otherwise. Okay, so Benjamin agrees with Steve.
Thank you, Benjamin. Use 2 pawns and discard 2 power
It's
spare
getting
parts.
personal. It's getting personal, y'all.
2 power spare parts to automatically resolve and discard 2 shutdown
Also,
tiles.
as much as I love the Martian, we don't need... Well, we do need the map, because there's the 8 token on it still. But we don't really need the map. So, there's that. We're kind of... This mission, once you, like, exploring at the satellite parts, there's not really a reason to explore.
We don't need the map?
Once you pick up the satellite part, we don't need the map. There's no reason to explore.
Yeah.
We shut down the garage even.
One thing is we got rid of the 2 shutdown tiles, but they're just going to happen next turn anyway and cause us stress next turn anyway.
Why?
Because we're still low on power.
Maybe we shouldn't do that then. Well, no.
It prevents future consequences.
Yeah.
And this is the last round to do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Clouds of dust block out the sun. Okay, we did it.
Great. Okay. This wine disappeared really quickly, by the way. Okay, so we auto-repair the energy and the engine system of the backup oxygenator, which is good. We're out of green cubes. How can we be out of green cubes? How can we be out of green cubes?
They're a little low. I started using black cubes because they're similar enough looking.
Okay. I didn't run out earlier. I guess I broke more stuff.
Yeah. There are not quite enough green cubes to do all the backup stuff.
Frustrating. Okay. So now we
malfunction.
So we get +1 on this, and we're rolling the living block and this block.
Wow.
And actually, it'd be better if they were shut down, because then nothing would break on them. But nothing pops, so that's okay. And yeah, that's the malfunction round.
Oh, but
Ooh.
the control center isn't broken, so we can use it next turn. We cannot shut it down.
I want to shut it down. Honey, I'm better than the control center.
Yeah, but you have to spend morale tokens.
Doesn't matter. I'm still better than the control center. We don't have enough actions to waste them on the control center. Better to use free actions. If we're going to waste an action, it's going to build up the morale because I hate you, and we're going to have stress of 6, so we're going to fight this round because it's Fight Club time.
Alright, Soul 5.
Yeah,
phase.
we have to build the farm, and we have to be really good at farming, and we have to plant a seed in 3 rounds. Having stuff shut down is actually good because then less stuff can break.
Yeah.
Okay, start Soul 5. Start Soul 5. What?
Oh, because we didn't resolve the, oh, interesting.
But it wasn't the last round.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, what was that?
This is the,
Give me. Something's
this is
broken.
The food event happened. I think
something weird is happening. Ooh. It's hardly a gourmet meal. Too stressed. Maybe some events have built-in bad things that happen, and because we played on easy, we didn't see them.
Yeah, I don't know, but it had more. It didn't say last round.
But last round was the one we got the food thing. It's not last round.
No, I mean the one that said last round. It was the last round to do the solar panel thing, and we resolved it. This one didn't say last round. It said 3 rounds remaining.
So is it the last round for it?
No.
Okay, so this stresses us by 2. And again. And we roll the red malfunction die by 1. And then the system block goes up by 1.
So now I'm first player.
You're first player. And we get +1 again on the system block. First player gains morale.
Okay, so I now have 4 morale tokens.
And then we would do the stuff. This is weird. Rough mission so far. I never had this much power loss. Resolve shutdown tiles. Flip them over. So we did, but does that mean we like have to do them, or because it says we resolve them automatically, we're good?
We get +1 energy.
We get +1 production. Thank you, Kabuki. He didn't even read them.
Charlie said that, actually.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, I've never resolved the shutdown tile before. Okay. Okay, so we get 2 solar production back.
So we're back up, so stuff's not going to shut down. That's great.
Okay, I wondered how you got solar production.
But I don't understand why the events are triggering even though they have rounds left. Unless they're supposed to keep triggering?
Yeah, the events are triggering the round after we get them. Maybe it's because it's toward the end of the game? I don't know.
I don't know. That's really frustrating, because the app doesn't indicate that at all. Can you... Okay, so energy, we're good. We don't have a surplus. Oxygen, we have a surplus of 2. So bump oxygen 2. You're no longer anemic, because we screwed that. So you just eat 1. No broken stuff. Stress. +2 stress. We need to go to crew quarters. Yeah, that event's gone now. The weird food one is gone now. Even though it had rounds left, it triggered as if it didn't have rounds left. And we still only have 1 thing in. Is Ignacy awake yet? Probably not. I don't think Ignacy's awake yet. So it only shows the 1 event. We also have an update. There was an update that happened today, so it might be fixed in that update. But that's really weird.
Yeah, because I thought the conditions didn't happen, or I thought the things didn't happen until the rounds left ran out, but...
Yeah, you should be able to skip stuff until the round that something, like, until it triggers or falls off. I don't know. Charles, have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, that didn't happen to me when I was playing, but I was also resolving them quickly.
I let a couple float and it didn't do that, but that was the easy. So I don't know if this is the difference between easy and hard. Okay.
I mean, maybe that's your incentive to do it and not wait until the round's left. I don't know. Okay, so there's feedback control in the subsystems. We use a pawn, we gain a morale, and we prevent future consequences.
Okay. Both girls are playing now, and it's really cute. Alright, so it's the action phase, because we did production, and did you get your morale?
Yeah.
You did, okay. So, we can go get parts from 8, because when we build the farm needs everything? Right?
The farm needs power, CPU, and oxygen.
Okay, well we have plenty of oxygen parts. We don't have any power parts currently, or CPU. So we could cannibalize something, or you could go and explore. I can't get hurt. And I need to go deal with crew quarters.
Oh, and if you get hurt, 1 is 2.
That's why I said I couldn't get hurt. So I think I'm going to go to the crew quarters this round and to the med. So I'm going to heal my condition because I'm poisoned still. And I think I'm going to reduce our stress by 6.
I think we have to build the backup farm.
You do need to build the backup farm. Can you build the backup farm with the autonomous logistics vehicle? The fancy forklift? The FF? We're going to call it FF. Fifi! It's named Fifi!
Yeah, okay. So if I do that, I have 1 pawn left. I probably shouldn't do the event.
You spend a pawn on them to get production back, but gotta resolve those tiles, which can be hard.
To resolve the shutdown tiles, yeah.
But if we resolve them automatically, do we just get the success automatically?
I think we just get the success, yeah.
There's a lot of things that aren't insanely clear.
Because you roll dice to normally resolve the success thing. It's probably
and you have to spend a pawn.
Okay, so if I brought... Oh, we can use the drone to do the feedback control.
Does it only need 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I can gather...
No, you have to build the farm!
No, I'm already building the farm.
But you don't have enough people to gather. You have to have 2 to even get out there. So you need 3 action tokens.
Oh, that's right.
You don't have enough.
Okay.
I have to go here.
I can steal a part to make that CPU not cause us malfunctions, so that might be the thing to do. So I can steal the CPU from something else.
Well, but anything that malfunctions right now is going to blow up. We could blow up something in the living block.
Like in the living block.
It's a free action to steal a part. Or you can just do it as your repair.
It's your repair, yeah.
No, it's a free action to steal a part. So, we can just say, screw it, we're breaking this. And we just rip this out and put a red cube in and take a part of CPU and put it in the pending. That's a free action. However, alternatively, we can take a green cube, put it on top of your pawns,
That's
and
what I
put
was
it
going to
there.
do, yeah.
Yeah. So you can rip stuff out to get parts as a free action.
But I think we should do that, and we should probably rip it out of the...
Say his name 3 times, and then Ignacy shows up.
I'll rip it out of the garage.
Ignacy!
I'll rip it out of the garage hall.
Oh wait, is Ignacy there? Wait, I'm so confused. No.
But yeah, I'm gonna...
Future consequences would make sense for the following round. But where do we find out that there's going to be future consequences? I will order cookies and send them to his house in Poland. I don't know where his address is. I'll send it to the office. Does Poland have Amazon?
So I think I forget the thing, but I think we moved the red cube to
But
here.
how do you know consequences are going to happen? That's my problem, is there's nothing in the app that indicates to me that there are consequences.
Well, it just says prevent future consequences.
But it doesn't say that there might be consequences. So is it just that we just don't know? That's what I'm frustrated with.
Yeah, my assumption from rounds left 3 was that we would have 3 rounds to deal with that. I'm fine if it doesn't. I just didn't expect that.
I just want some sort of indication that consequences means within the rounds remaining. I assumed consequences means like if it times out and it goes back in.
Yeah. However, because there's only 7 rounds in the game, I can see. Like if you got an event
I get
on
that,
6 or
but
7,
there's just one indication.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Chocolate chip cookies, chocolate chip cookies, chocolate chip cookies. Sorry, I just had to try it. Okay, what are we doing?
I am repairing the oxygenator and building the backup farm.
I think Santa just went into the bedroom and barked.
Yep. We really need those parts, but...
Ooh. Why are you doing that? No. I should be doing that. If anybody's going to be doing anything that involves an engineering role...
You said you were going to do those 2 things.
Well, because I have to not be poisoned.
Yeah, well...
And we have to raise morale.
There's a time and a place.
Did you not realize that I'm about to punch you?
There's a time and a place to not be poisoned.
Yeah, and it's right now. Actually, it's like 20 minutes ago. Alright, are we ready to resolve?
When do we get to the fistfight part?
The next round when our stress increases.
Okay,
we should go time travel later.
Action phase. Okay, so... Spend a token. I'm the one spending the token.
It's easy. You just gotta wait.
Do you want to be the one gaining the morale token? Do you need morale?
Sure, yeah, I need morale.
Okay, so you gain the morale token.
I'm controlling the droid. I fly it
as it fixes the mains voltage drop.
I fly it into the solar panels and just keep nudging the solar panel to, like, plug the plug back in.
So now we unwind.
Great! Steve plays Xbox he plays a space game where he flies around in a spaceship simulator for, like, 6 hours. And he reduces a lot of his stress.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
It's also a good way to not be punched by people that aren't in the room.
Well, the funny thing is it relieves your stress. I'm still stressed. I was flying a drone into a solar panel to try and replug it without cutting the cord with the blades from the drone. Like, just, that's the struggle I have.
They don't have...
Yeah, no, there's no protectors on those. I was, trying not to kill us all.
So,
while you were playing your spaceship flying games. I
unwind. Why don't you fix your poisoning?
Okay, great. I'm no longer poisoned.
Hooray!
Yay!
Now you're more potent in a fight.
Oh no, people's speeds are cranky. We're not showing any lost frames.
Oh, the KB percent.
It's a little sporadic. I can't do much about that.
Oh, is there anything else running? We're plugged in?
Nope. Nada. I turned it all off.
I'm gonna kick the dog out.
Yeah, it just sounds easy out. Crazy. There's not much. We don't have anything running. Alright. I am going to roll to try and fix the backup generator. Wait, where did the... Oh no, you don't put the red cube on it yet. You leave the spots out.
Oh, okay.
So when you try and cannibalize parts, you leave the...
Oh, you steal the green cube.
You steal the green cube, but you leave the red there.
Okay.
Hey, I hurt myself. I'm going to spend a morale to reroll.
And then
I hurt myself again.
Put a black marker on it. To show
Well,
that
I'm
you
not
did
going to worry about it.
Yeah.
I remember that I did that. Right. So I get 2 morale because I failed that great.
And an adventure.
And an adventure happens.
Oh, but you didn't hurt yourself, did you?
No, just mentally.
Okay. Your adventure is roll the orange malfunction die.
Great.
Then, as I was working, I heard a sudden blast behind me. I nearly dropped the tools on my foot.
Woo! 1! It pops!
So you just the living block. While I'm playing my space game, then you're healing your poison.
The living block pops, which causes the system block to go, which is great. So, awesome. We blow a bulb in the crew quarters. So the crew quarters now have a power surge leak thing.
Which decreases power from the general supply.
Great!
I forget when that happens. But...
I don't actually know. I think you do that in the malfunction phase. I couldn't figure that out from the rules.
Okay. There was a thing that said it, so I think it's malfunction phase.
I think it's a malfunction phase. Okay, so that was my horrible adventure. So now, Steve, I don't fix that part. However, I'm going to spend 3 morale in this second to just auto-fix that situation. So we don't actually have horrible situations.
Why don't I just roll for it?
You can't. That was what I was rolling for. And I failed at rolling.
Oh.
So I pulled out the big guns and said I'm on it.
Okay, I thought you were... Okay,
no, you just auto build the farm.
Yeah.
Which is great, but now we have even more broke stuff. So when we build the farm, he was all concerned about the broken oxygenator, and then he was like, we're going to build the farm. The farm's more broken than the oxygenator. So the farm has 3... And it has a greenhouse in the bottom, which you denote by putting a little black cube. In the rules, and I think on the app, it says that you activate the greenhouses from the 6 to 10 slots. Like it can power or provide 6 to 10 greenhouses. But I don't understand. Oh, there's a little tiny text. Okay. So the one black cube right there represents 6 to 10 greenhouses, and then these represent the different seed locations.
These are penalties when you take the action, that's what it is. So if you want to unwind now, it takes power from the general supply, which is not that big of a deal.
Great.
We have extra power.
Not that we totally just use them. There you go. Okay. So the oxygenator, the farm is built, so we need to check off the objectives for the oxygenator, which I don't think we did, and the backup farm. What the heck was that? Oh, Zena's sort of playing with herself.
Okay, and then, yeah, you got the black marker on the greenhouse. Alright, so we have to plant a new seed.
We can now plant the seed, which is also an objective. And then we have to get really good at planting the seed. And the way that we get really good is we repair our farm.
So I can draw 2, pick 1 research cards as well.
Sorry, my mom is sending me pictures of my nieces and on vacation, and it's extremely cute. Okay. So we've
that's
done
round 5. Oh, we did the 7 thing. Okay, malfunction dice. We roll all 3 malfunction dice.
Great. So everything goes wrong. For forever. Awesome. So that spectacularly pops. That goes, and that pops with a whisper. So we have 2 that pop. So the working block. The laser is no longer responding. The laser part is now broke.
In the working bay?
Yep. So you need to add the yellow people token. It will now take an extra person to do stuff in the working bay. And the system block... pH control alert. Move 1 food from a greenhouse to the growth track slot number 4.
Oh, that's not the yellow token. That just costs that. The yellow token is
that's the yellow token.
Is it?
That's the yellow token. Yep. That's what I now realize. So whenever it breaks, you put the yellow token there. And so to do the action, you do the yellow token. And then it pulls off. But every round in the malfunction phase, it puts a new token on. Yeah. So that, technically, it goes there. And then after cleanup, we would discard any there and slide ones over. So problems will build. That was in Rodney's video.
Right.
Okay, but we move 1 food from the greenhouse to growth track slot 4, which is a big problem because we only had 1 food to begin with. And it's going to take time to get it up to where it can produce plants for us again. This is really demoralizing. This is like massively harder than easy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you right now. Alright.
Where did that happen? Move 1 food. Oh.
Yeah. So we no longer have food. And because you were anemic, we produced a lot. We ate a lot of our food. So we're going to start starving. And I can't starve because I'm a delicate flower.
Okay, so that was consequences of malfunction.
Yep, so all of these reset.
Day 6.
Ah!
And then you are now first player.
I am now first player.
I'm glad we can... Oh, not again. Players choose half the astronauts rounded up. Each of the chosen astronauts suffers a wound.
I can't be wounded.
So, that's the not again food thing. So I guess it just continues to happen. So I'll take
because
it.
we never solved it, but we can't solve it ever.
Yeah.
Because it's gone.
Yeah.
That's horrible. You're gonna starve.
And now there's a hidden fault. Roll the orange malfunction die and resolve its results. So I think that happened. Oh, that happened from an adventure because that's the brown thing.
Okay. Oof.
And the system block goes up by 1.
That's okay. We just need to
report from
plant the
MCEI
seed and do some stuff.
So this is our event for this round. The department ran into some budget-related problems. Please make some noise to get more money. We need samples, new areas discovered, anything new to obtain money for next year's mission. -1 morale.
Great.
The first player discards and gains things, so nobody gets anything now.
Yep.
Now we do production.
Okay. We're still overproducing oxygen, so we get +2 on the O2. We both have to eat rations.
Oh, it's solar.
So solar, we're fine. Everything breaks even.
No, because we have an additional from the backup farm now. Because we're only producing 11 solar, right?
So we have to shut something down. Yep. Hi, Ichi.
Well, the garage hall.
Yep. Shut down the garage. Don't care. Okay. So, but we can't cannibalize parts from the garage anymore, can we?
You can't cannibalize from a shutdown thing?
I don't think so. It's frozen. You can't go in there because there's no...
Oh, I thought there was a fact that said you could, but...
I don't know. We'd have to look it up again. There's a fact in the app.
Yeah.
Okay, so... I don't know how far you are. I see your message now. The clock says 8:56.
Oh, they're talking about last turn with the crew quarters. Yeah, I think our upload is...
Seems steady.
Yeah, is everybody's thing stuttering a little bit? I don't know. Well, it's
Oh,
going up to 3,000 and then it's going down.
To 1,200. I don't know why. Can't do anything about it. Okay. Oh, maybe raise the laptop for heating, but that's all I can think of.
Speaking of things having shutdown problems.
We eat all of our food.
Yeah,
One, two.
It's kind of...
We have
a little
one
warm.
food left. So put our coasters in there.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
We eat a bunch of our food. We have one food left. And I can't get hurt again. So, yeah. Okay. Stress. We're stressed by 4. Which means if we do make it to another round, we're gonna have problems. We could try and beat the game this round. It might happen. actually, if you have enough morale that if you do repairs and then you are the one drawing research cards, we can pick and choose the research cards.
Yeah. So I think we need to do that.
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What?
That complication that happens now. After it broke last round, the thing where we put it on this thing happens now. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't have happened right when it broke. It would have happened this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we put it on early.
No, you put it here, and then it slides in, so now it's effective. Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's broken, and then now
it's in the working lab.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Let's see what the event is. If you're successful in your explore or research action, click completed. So that's where we're trying to fix our budget cuts. So if we explore or research, it fixes that event.
I think we just need to finish the game. We need to plant the seed. We need to repair the farm.
We're currently at 6 broken things, right?
No.
Yes.
No.
Garage, crew quarters, working bay, and 3 on the farm.
Does shutdown count? I guess.
Yeah.
It just can't break more.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can do an O2 fix, and we can do a nothing else fix. We don't have the parts.
We can fix the working bay. Oh, but on that.
Yep. I mean, we should fix the working bay, but... Hey, Nerfenstein. Okay.
Hopefully, I think...
It's getting a little better,
Yeah.
but they're already back in time, so it doesn't matter. Okay. You want back into play?
Or she wants Miles to come out. Oof.
I mean, we should fix the working bay if we do have a turn 7. It would be important.
If you get a random upgrade, it could give us the spare parts.
It's true, but I can't fix anything. I can't re-roll. And we need 3 people to work or fix on anything right now. ZZ.
Well, 2, if we want to roll.
Yeah. I don't know. We have the parts to fix the working bay, so we should definitely do that. We could just not roll and do that for that, and then roll to fix the O2. And then we could send Froggy with the... Oh, we can't send Froggy. We can't explore. We shut that down. We have to plant the seed, though. But we also need to do...
If I'm the one
tweaking.
that fixes that, and I can cannibalize. Cannibalizing might be the way to go.
No, we have O2.
No, but for the power and for the CPU.
But do these O2 first. We have an O2 part. Just do O2.
It needs 2 pawns even to roll.
That's what I'm saying. So just do 2 pawns with an O2.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, the feed's pretty bad, apparently. I can't do anything about it. It's not drawing any frames. Okay. What are we doing? Okay, focus on the game. Remember, even though it buffers a lot, the people that watch it later, which is the vast majority of the audience, doesn't experience the buffering.
Okay, well, there's nothing we can use the mapping drones for.
No.
Oh no.
No.
All of those aren't typeless.
Yep. Okay. Then next round we have to fix a bunch of plant to see.
The garage hall shut down. Otherwise, we could just send Froggy out to resolve that event.
I'm aware. Alright. Well, but you can still spend morale on the repair of the O2 to draw a research card if he succeeds. To draw an extra one. So let's do this. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So I auto-fix the problem here, which is great. Woohoo! Yay. And then I can draw. Do you want me to do a random upgrade? I can draw it right now.
I mean, we don't have to. It doesn't matter now. We can do it next turn anyway.
Okay.
Because we can't lose morale tokens.
Yep. You
Okay.
say that. You can lose morale tokens.
You can lose morale, but you can't lose the tokens once you have them.
Ooh,
Great.
not great. Not great.
I got 2 morale tokens and nothing else bad happened.
Awesome.
Okay, well, don't use the part.
Yep.
One thing is that wilting only affects that greenhouse, they said. It doesn't affect our other one.
What wilting? The oxygen leak doesn't affect wilting.
I mean, that wilting only affects seeds in this greenhouse, not in our main greenhouse.
Okay.
Because otherwise that...
Okay, next phase. Malfunction!
Okay, malfunction dice. We roll all of them.
And that one gets +4, so it's gonna pop up. Living blocks will break.
Wait, why does that one get +4?
Oh, system, sorry. It's next to that, so it blows my mind. So system's gonna get 5, so
No,
it'll break. 2 + 3 is 5. System, 2 + 3 is 5.
No, only that one counts. Those are wilting.
Honey, the red, all the red still counts. Does it not?
No, it's only if it has that icon where it says plus with the ladder.
I played wrong. Okay.
Okay, yeah. It's only if it has that icon. So it only goes up 3.
So I played way wrong on my easy game.
So that might have been why you lost.
Okay. So then we go up 3.
So I think we did this wrong last time anyway.
Probably. And then this one goes up 1, which breaks it. And this one goes up 1, which does not break it.
Okay, so the living block malfunctions again. There's a quarantine advised in the med lab. An illness develops. Each astronaut with at least one condition suffers a wound.
Nobody has a condition.
Nobody has a condition, so we're fine.
Okay.
Luckily.
Thank goodness.
We were no longer poisoned. Okay. Day 7. The yellow thing blocking the working bay goes away. I become first player.
Reset that.
Yes.
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. Do we each take a wound?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
And the morale drops.
Great.
Okay.
Oh, we have an event.
Not again. I am slowly getting sick of eating the same stuff every day.
Doesn't matter, you're gonna start starving.
Each of the chosen astronauts suffers a wound. So I'll take it.
It's great. We're gonna start starving. We're out of food anyway.
Working block goes up by 1. And today's event, the wrong algorithm. The first few mistakes might have been harmless, but so many of them were clearly too much to handle using the wrong algorithm. Draw 1 working block malfunction card and resolve the effect.
Oh, gosh. Okay, that's fine. Atmosphere cleanup and lab in progress, 14%. So we lose 2 oxygen from our general supply, which is fine. We have a surplus.
And then first player discards gains morale tokens, which we haven't lost yet.
That's you. Oh, after we fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So energy, are we...
We're good on energy. Because we haven't lost anything. And we shut down the garage. So we're fine. O2, we still gain 2. Because we're only using 3.
Yep.
And then, food. One of us eats, and the other one takes a wound. And we both take a thing. So, yeah.
Wait, why do we both take a
one of us eats.
Yeah.
And the other takes a thing.
You said we both take a thing.
No. One of us.
Yeah. It's only one of us takes a condition.
Okay.
I'll take one because we need you to be
Sorry,
in better shape. Okay, I eat one more.
It's because the computer is overheated and we raised it. We don't know.
Yeah,
I don't. Oh, go get the random ice pack. I don't know if that'll help.
Yeah. So
the ice pack's on the couch.
Our upload keeps dropping, and I don't know why.
It's on the couch.
Yeah, but it's not cool anymore. Is it?
I don't know, but it's on the couch either way.
I was gonna get one of the ones from the freezer.
Well, it needs to vent still.
Yeah, this is gonna just block the vent.
Okay.
I'll put the ice pack just next to it. Yeah, sometimes our kilobytes per second drops.
Okay. Wow, that's hot. You can hear the ice go immediately. Okay. So, what else is happening?
Nothing.
Can you bump the food down? Sorry, my back's pissed. I'm not moving. I'm sorry.
We fight.
We do fight. We
So
fight
now
hard.
We each get a condition.
Yep. Did you get anemic again?
Anxiety attack.
Well, no, but the last
time I got it.
I have migraine. I can't use skills. It's super helpful.
So the anxiety attack was resolve it immediately and then okay, so our morale goes down again and then it goes back into the stock. I forget if discarded ones always go back into the stock. Okay. But that doesn't really matter if morale's low because this is the last round anyway.
But morale resets. When you have a fight, it resets.
Stress resets.
Yeah, stress resets and we lose. We don't lose 2 morale, do we?
We lost 1 from my anxiety attack.
Oh. Ouch. Well, that's fine. Okay. So I need to keep my morale tokens because... Oh, this is the last round anyway.
Yeah, but
we'll fail or die.
You can't use skills.
That's fine. Even if I went and healed it, I can use skills this round. This is the best.
Okay, so there's an event.
But you need to use skills. So basically, I will just assist you in all of the repairs of the farm, and somebody needs to plant the seed. That's literally it.
And we need to be lucky. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Research action.
We don't have the parts. We're going to have to cannibalize. But that's fine. So you have to research, and then I can help research, and then the drone can help repair. So if we repair, and then you repair on top, and then I can help repair, and then you repair on top.
You should do the research then.
No. Oh, fuck.
Oh, this is reroll any blue die, because we need that to succeed then.
I mean, I could repair with the drone. I have to cannibalize something. So can we cannibalize from the garage? Because I'll totes cannibalize from the garage.
I think it did say.
Da-da-da. Oof, my back. Oof, oof, oof. I think it talks about it in the shutdown section. Because I've read that section a lot.
Yeah. Shutdown section was over here.
I didn't have to shut anything down. I didn't read that one super repeatedly.
Immune to effects.
Yeah, but can you cannibalize? I'm gonna say we can.
I'm gonna say you can, because
Sweet.
I think I remember reading that.
We cannibalize. We're gonna take the power cube. We're gonna use an O2 part on this one. And then I don't really care about the CPU. CPU can weld. That's all of our action tokens. Do we have an event we need to deal with?
Well...
Because we have a droid.
One of them is just gain a morale token, prevent future consequences.
I mean, we have a drone. There's not going to be any consequences.
And then this one, if we're successful in an explore or research...
Well, you're going to research.
So
you're fine.
Oh... I mean, I don't need a morale token, but you can't use skills anyway.
Well, this is the last round anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this.
Okay.
Research.
So, first I'm going to do gain a morale token, prevent future consequences. So, I'm using the correct algorithm. Okay.
I like how our fight gave me a migraine. And then it made you have an anxiety attack. Did the anxiety attack get discarded?
Yeah, you'd shuffle it back in.
Oh, great.
After the morale drops.
Great.
Okay, so research is next.
Research! Roll the dice. Roll the dice!
So I can spend one to reroll, and then when I draw a research card, I can draw an extra one. But it's choose one, resolve the other. Hooray!
Well, no, you're researching to plant the seed.
Yeah.
Which is not a research action.
Yeah.
No, you're not researching.
It's a research action. What?
But you're not researching, you're planting the seed.
Yeah, when you draw a research card. This is reroll any blue die.
But when you plant the seed, you don't draw the research card.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You just plant the seed.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but you planted the seed! Check that objective off. We're gonna lose.
Well, this needed to happen. If you did this, then I could have both my pawns on that,
But you needed to reroll.
I did need the reroll because that was risky.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Either way, it's risky.
Okay, so now we just need to reach 100% on the...
With 2 card draws. We'll be fine.
Oh, what if you did 2 separate pawns? Because that last one could be the tweak action.
You could do 2 separate pawns. I could do 2 separate... No, we can't tweak because it's not technically fixed until the next round. So we could do 3 repairs, which will get us 3 cards.
We should probably do that.
Do you want to do the repairs?
Oh, I should do repairs separately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't.
And we have 2 O2.
So you repair as the drone? No, we can't repair from the drone. We have to cannibalize.
Probate, I guess.
We need CPU. You grab CPU?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay, now...
So we should have done that. We're going back in time a little bit.
What would Matt Damon do?
Okay.
Matt Damon would not play this game.
So, yeah, he'd be like, nope. So I'm just going to do... Because this is when I draw a research card, so I think this is ongoing for the...
I don't know. I don't know. You have the rules because you took them from me. That seems really powerful.
But it would be during the same round because you reset your skills at the end of the...
Seems really powerful. FAQ! Ha!
The dog in. Let me check that. Maybe under skills. I mean, it just says when you draw.
Doesn't.
Oh, skills are all the way at the beginning. But I don't think
it doesn't say in skills. It would be an FAQ on that specific engineer.
Okay.
I mean, the way it's written, it would be spend 2 when you draw, whereas mine is spend 2 draw.
Yeah.
So spend 2, and then I guess this round, when you draw research cards, you are really good at research.
Although you do flip it over when you use it, so I guess it would just apply once. So
no, but it's spend 2 when you draw a research card.
Yeah.
Draw more.
But they were saying something about its skills only.
You can only activate it once a round, but does it persist throughout the round?
Yeah,
flipping it is when you activate it. So
yeah,
I would say if it says win.
Yeah.
When you draw a research card, the difference is if the A represents it's a single time use.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's single time.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to roll these dice to repair anyway, so I will try to repair.
O2?
Yeah.
O2 is super important to repair. Maybe I should repair the O2. I'll do the O2. Because if we... Oh no, because if the power, it wilts either way. Okay.
Yeah, and we need me to do it to get this thing, so I'm going to repair that.
Yep, we just need success. Woohoo! We succeeded!
But I get an adventure. Draw 1 living... I was in the middle of something and suddenly there was this alarm sound very loud. Draw 1 living block malfunction card and resolve the effect.
Okay.
Living block. Living block.
The O2 in the med lab is broken.
That was, I think, we can't... Well, okay, but that's fixed.
That's fixed. That's fixed.
And...
Good job.
Draw a research card. I get that percentage of optimum growth. Okay.
Okay, and now draw the research card. You draw 2. And then when you draw 1, you put... Nope! Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my ability. So
yeah!
50 and a 30.
50%.
So...
And then they both get shuffled back in.
Okay, so our optimum growth conditions are 50%.
Okay. Trying to do this.
Okay, so...
Fix the CPU. No!
It did not work. I got an adventure and a wound. And 2 morale tokens. And there's no way I can stop it.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my adventure is... The damn tools blew the fuses in the entire block. 6 stress.
Ouch! Okay, well that didn't work.
So we
Take
have...
your robot back. Okay, and now I auto-fix the power situation. Which does draw 1 research. 50%! I totally did
Oh my god!
That was
you scienced the shit out of it!
Okay, we did it!
We did it! Oh my god! Oh my
100%.
god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Okay. Put the track up to 100%.
And we win immediately, right?
No, you finished the round.
You do finish the round?
Yeah, so stuff could still break to the point of no return. That's what the game made me do.
That's what the game made you do?
Is it made me finish the round.
Okay. Oh,
so
okay.
if you hit next round with everything objected,
it'll say malfunction
you do
phase.
malfunction, and then it checks your threshold, and then you're done.
Okay, malfunction
System block
dice.
pops. We're fricked. This is what happened to me. We break the CPU on the farm. And that will probably lose us again.
And then we roll the 3 dice.
And then, well, yeah. Well, and this is going to go up by 2.
Well...
This goes up by 2.
No. Hold.
Yeah, they go up by 2.
Wait,
oh, wait,
why?
No, wait.
No, none of those do. And that is just a +1 to the die roll, so if it pops anyway...
Well, no, but I just did that because it popped. Hang on. I keep doing things wrong. No, that one did happen.
No, but it's +1 to the die roll, so it's not going to pop twice. So
no, it just pops once. Yeah. So this one can't pop again.
Yeah.
So I already did it. So that doesn't matter.
Yeah. But technically, you would roll the die and add it to it.
1 and 1. And nothing else increases the badness on those.
I think we have exactly 6.
Do we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So,
Mandatory mission objective completed.
We win?
Check the threshold value to finish the mission. Congratulations! Not only did you learn how to play the game, but you completed all mandatory objectives. You are ready to make another step towards Mars colonization. In the next missions, you'll experience more gameplay changes and more complex objectives. You have the basics covered, though. With your farm secured, you can now focus on other tasks you were sent to do. Exploration.
We're out of food!
Exploration.
We're out of food, and our seeds aren't going to be good and viable. Oh, this should have grown. Our seeds aren't going to be viable to start providing us food.
For another 4 days.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Use the skills practiced in this mission to expand and make the colony thrive. Good luck on your future missions.
We're dead. We're dead in like 3 days.
Mission to go. Hey, we can brag on Twitter.
Great. We didn't die. But we're gonna.
So.
Great. We didn't die. But we're gonna.
You should include the internet in the picture. Okay. So we both played the easy mission. Tiff made it a little hard, I think, by...
Oh, I have to log in. That's fine.
I just copied the text to the tweet, or to the Twitter app. Okay, so we both played on easy. Tiff's was a little harder because she was accidentally... Tiff was adding extra malfunction, not only the ones with the malfunction symbol. So by and large, we both would have won on easy. As a solo, each a solo game. On medium, oh my god, we ignored a lot of events. Everything went way wrong. We lucked out by drawing... I think there's only one... Is there only one 50%? Yeah, there's only one 50% research card. So that last one was a 1 in 6 chance of us succeeding, and we ended at exactly the threshold for broken parts. So that was about as close as you can get to failing without failing.
Oh, I can't tweet this because the lag. They don't know yet.
Oh,
I won't tweet it. I won't tweet it. We'll hold off. Once people start cheering in the chat, I will tweet that we did it.
Holy goodness, that was difficult.
That was so blind luck, that draw.
That was, we should have lost. I'm curious now, so I guess I did not expect that events would fire consequences before the rounds went up.
There's no implication of that.
And it also didn't happen to either of us on the easy games, maybe just by chance.
I think it was because they're easy.
Yeah. But that's pretty crazy because it pops, at least for us, it popped early, and then those effects triggered for the rest of the game. Which I think is kind of like in Robinson Crusoe, when you shuffle, a thing pops and you shuffle a card into the deck.
No, don't worry about it. She's just replying to something I said like 15 minutes ago. It is 9:25 p.m. when I read Angela's comment, Nerf and Science, about, sorry for the lag, but she says, I don't mind, I'd watch your streams regardless, even when you're eating poop potatoes. Speaking of which, we haven't had dinner yet.
And I don't know why our kilobytes per second is so low.
I think it just overheated.
Maybe, because it's not our upload, because usually when this happens and I check our upload is fine.
It's just struggling today. Probably a lot of people watching things on the internet, maybe. I don't know. Our neighbors watch the stream, causing lag. Just be like, come over, neighbors. Just hang out.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, so let's talk about, so each of us has now played the game twice. And each of us got things wrong each time we played, including this time.
We got a lot less things wrong this time.
We got a lot less things wrong, and the fact that there's an update to the app probably means that there are some rule tweaks or clarifications, or maybe something else, since it's coming out. It's great that they're doing the pre-order, because the pre-order means that they have some buffer time to tweak the app, to do any rules, modifications, anything that they need.
Oh, yeah. Update. Oh, no, it did download the update. Updated July 18th. So, landscape screen orientation support, new events, bug fixes.
It did do landscape to me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, anyway, they definitely did it smart where they did a pre-order release to, dedicated fans to make sure those fans played it and did the questions and get stuff going so that they can do the things that they need to do before their Gen Con release.
Yeah, the good FAQ and everything. Because all these things are going to go into a comprehensive FAQ.
Ignacy has been working on this game for years, and he has constantly said that it's a big undertaking and that it's a lot, and it's stressed him out, and I can definitely see why. There's a lot of there's a lot of things that can happen, and the fact that you have an app, and so there's technology involved, and weird things can happen. There's a lot of things to track. There's a lot of things to teach people. But there is some stuff that I noticed both from playing it, reading the rulebook, and watching Rodney's video. One of my biggest things that I noticed so far is that if you're reading the rulebook, there are sections in the rulebook where they do call-outs. And you can even see it from here, where they have a big wall of white text, which is very, like, storyboard written, kind of, very verbose. And then,
Kabuki says, they may even be done at the game, and at this point, we're just watching the past. Yep.
You are just
but
that's
watching
fine.
the past.
We're not spoiling it. But then there's this black call-out section, and this black call-out section right here has super important information that is relevant to the game. So they talk about the skills, and they talk about wounds, and they talk about tracks, and then you're like, okay, so I can use the skill once per round. I'm gonna get the skills in the standalone game, I get them all, da-da-da-da-da. But, like, you don't, like, there's some other stuff that's not mentioned that is mentioned in the black box. So basically, if you're reading the rule books, make sure you read everything.
The black boxes aren't just examples. Some
They're
of them are examples, but
some of them are examples, and they do like some italic text to represent that. But for the most part, the black boxes are rule clarifications or specifications beyond what the paragraphs are. So you really need to make sure that you read the black boxes.
One thing I would also say is definitely play that first game on easy, knowing how hard this was on medium. Because when you're looking through the rulebook and you're trying to figure out some of these rules and some of these, you're trying to figure out how to play, you don't also want to be worried about losing constantly.
But, like, it's another one of those games where, like, when you actually sit down to play it, there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of moving track things, there's a lot of, okay, this and this, then this and this. I feel like the round player aid, and I'm giving this feedback having played it twice now and still screwing stuff up from, like, a blind playtester kind of experience, even though this isn't technically a playtest. The round summary is super helpful, but the round summary could be better. Like, it's gonna be weird, but, like, I didn't know that I only increase the track thing if there's the symbol of the track thing. I thought it was literally, if anything's broken, that means you advance it. And so I got that from Rodney's video, and I got that from reading the rules, and Steve got something else, which was when the malfunction phase hits, you activate the symbols that have that on it, which confuses me even more, because there's, like, a whole bunch of stuff that can break, and when I was playing, I was like, when does the stuff that breaks trigger? Because I know the gears only trigger for the working block.
The gears only trigger for the working block.
And then everything else triggers during the malfunction stage, but it doesn't specifically say how or what those things would do in the malfunction phase.
Well, nothing else triggers in the malfunction phase, I think, except for the wilting happens in growth, but these are all penalties when you take the action. But,
see, and that's really weird, because that's not defined on the cards, and that's not really stated in the player aids, like on the round summary.
Yeah, like, it's hard to differentiate, like, this is only happening in the malfunction phase, this increased the malfunction track, but
I almost want to, make sure that each phase has some sort of, there's a lot of icons in this game, and the icons mix themselves up, which confuses me. Like, there's an icon for, hang on, so there's an icon for power, just like the concept of power on something. Then there's the concept of, there's an icon for power that's in your general supply, and then there's an icon for power that you're producing. And the icons are all the same lightning bolt, but the, like, border around the lightning bolt, the circle around the lightning bolt, differentiates whether or not that is the power icon on a specific location, the power in your general supply, or a production power.
And also the same icon for the spare part that you use to replace it,
which is
has
also power.
Another different border around it.
Yeah, so you have to really pay attention to the borders, which isn't horrendous, and the icon guide is helpful in that. I just wish that there was some sort of separation of icons that activate in different phases. Because you really only care about each of those weird types of icons in very specific phases. Ugh. So, yeah, the malfunction phase, if somebody could make a cheat sheet that's like, this is what malfunctions this is what triggers in, like, for how stuff breaks.
Like by phase.
Yeah, by doing the phase breakdown with icons, that would be super helpful, I think.
And this is the kind of thing that probably someone will work on, and it'll be on BGG by the time this hits street date.
But it's just, that's like the biggest annoyance that I have from a playing standpoint that I think makes it kind of tough, is there's a lot of green cubes, there's a lot of trackers for things that correspond to each different icons. And I would just like some sort of map that helps me map specific icons to specific
almost
places.
Like a flowchart or something visual.
Yeah.
And I think with a game like this, there are, without finding the exact clarification for a certain rule, it's entirely reasonable to play the game wrong and you wouldn't notice it because it doesn't feel wrong.
It doesn't.
And it's still fun.
It can still be tough, yeah.
Maybe it's, it could still be fun and whatnot, but like when Tiff was playing her game, she was increasing the malfunction tracks way more than she should have.
Which explains why I lost.
And there's no indication that was wrong. It was just, that's what you're doing. So I think it's probably good for, like, maybe watching other people's playthroughs, going on BGG, finding those, like, fact things after people make
Make sure
charts.
you read the fact. This is definitely a game where, like, I hope this playthrough helps people, like, seeing how stuff works. But at the same point, this is a game where, like, if you want to play this game, you're going to watch Rodney's video, which is linked down below in the doobly-doo. You're going to read Ignacie's fact, which is Ignacie, who is the designer of the game, clarifying specific questions, some of which I think he shouldn't have to clarify. And if you've watched Rodney's video, you definitely don't need him to clarify. Rodney did a great job with that video. And the reason why I knew the black boxes were so important was because I watched Rodney's video, and then I went back and read the rulebook, and I was like, wait, this thing that Rodney said is missing from the rulebook. And then I actually went back and read all of the black boxes, because normally, once I saw that was an example, I ignored it. Turns out they're not all examples. And so then I saw stuff that Rodney had seen and pointed out. So this is, again, one of the rulebooks where you have to read everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think also some of the rules also didn't make sense until I was playing my first game.
That's also true.
It's definitely something
one where you definitely need to play it.
Play a learning game. Play
Play 2 learning games.
You'll play a learning game. You'll probably play it wrong, and then you'll need to go back. You'll be able to go back and figure out.
Play it easy. Play it medium. If you think you're ready, play the next mission. And
don't, in that first game, don't worry. Don't be afraid to like retcon things if you got it wrong or whatever. Like, and read the rule books. Ignacie spent a lot of time. This is a very involved system, and it's kind of like Seafall, where like the intro game for Seafall was boring as all hell, but like. And it was long. It was like 6 hours, but once you played it, you could like play the rest of the game. This is kind of that. Play the standalone missions, get them wrong, screw them up, and then once you're ready and you feel like you know the rules, play the campaign. I would also say having played Robinson Crusoe really helped prepare for this, because this feels like many of the things are similar to Robinson Crusoe and kind of the flow and using action pawns. But the systems and the malfunction track are vastly more complex. So it kind of felt like I kind of knew how the game was supposed to work, and then I just had to figure out the new parts.
Yeah, it's. I've only played Robinson Crusoe 1.5 times. It's not really my type of game, and this isn't really my type of game. But having played that just those 1 times helps. I'm not saying go out and learn Robinson Crusoe if this is more your jam. And you haven't played Robinson Crusoe, don't force yourself to play Robinson Crusoe. Just play this to start. If you've watched this, if you've read the rulebook, if you've watched Rodney's video, if you've read Ignacie's FAQ, if you've watched another playthrough, you'll be fine. Like, you don't need to go and put through the effort of getting a Robinson Crusoe and then 2 playing it. Like,
and also, I think, if something is weird, somebody else has probably asked that question, and it's probably in a fact somewhere. Or it's probably, like, for example, there was something that I was looking for a clarification, and it turned out it was actually in the app on the mission log. So just, like... Check
the missions log.
Yep.
It's super important. It's kind of weird. Sometimes it's hard to hit on the touchstone for the mission log. So, yeah. Which is another thing. As a UX designer, UX developer, there are certain things that the app could do a little better. So, for example, there's no way for me to go back and look at something that I've already done. So, if I hit done without fully reading a card, I can't ever bring that up.
Yeah,
I can't bring it back. which is a little annoying. So you just need to make sure when you're playing to not hit done unless you are clearing out that event and you're fully done, because you can't get it back.
Yeah, it would be neat if anything that had happened in your mission log was in the, grayed out or in some kind of a section where you could just see like the history. Old stuff, history. Yeah.
Like, you would think that mission log, that would have it. I thought mission log would be like a history of everything that had happened, so I could go back and be like, oh, in this school we had this event happen. Like, that would be cool. And they're probably going to work on that.
That seems like kind of a natural thing.
But yeah.
Along those lines with the app, having played both this and XCOM, which also has an app, one reason I know both games did it is so that the computer could basically balance the probability of too many bad things happening in a row, which you can't do if it's just a deck of cards. So which
is indicated by the fact that we had our energy plummet.
Yeah.
from our cards.
So that, and it didn't plummet again after it had already done that. So that's the
pro. That was just the cards.
Yeah.
Being lucky.
Oh, right. Yeah. But so that's the pro of using the app. But a con that I've noticed both playing this and XCOM is that you as the player don't see the inner workings of the event system. In Robinson Crusoe, it can be a little fiddly to shuffle decks together and get the events and deal with the conditions. But you see exactly what happens when an event falls off, an event triggers, and it says shuffle this into the adventure deck. And then now you know as a player, I'm going to see this card come up later in the adventure deck. Knowing that, you can kind of see the inner workings, and this happened, this was, this is the consequence of my action, this is why it happened. You kind of have to see, you get to see all the mechanics. When it's controlled in the app, as happened with us, we were kind of confused when we saw an event had future consequences, and we didn't know why, and I think part of that is because there was nothing physical to indicate that it would happen. And Robinson,
there was nothing on the app either.
Right, there's nothing in the app, but I mean, we're at cards, we would see that we shuffled the card into a deck, and it would come up. So we'd be like, oh, that's why it happened. So I think that could be...
Well, the one wasn't even... It was just a reoccurring event constantly.
Yeah.
Which there was no indication that would be the case.
And
we only essentially had one round to fix it, even though it said rounds remaining 3. So that's the thing that I feel is a bug.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if that weren't in an app, we would have known exactly what happened. Because it was in the app and we don't know the inner workings of it, that's one less thing for us to manage. But it also means, we don't know if it's a bug or if it's something that was meant to happen, but also that it's harder to predict things that are going to happen as a gamer because you're not physically doing them.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely a caution when you're doing app-enabled games, is you probably have to put extra work into making people know why things are happening in the app, so that they're not blaming the app and they're instead, blaming themselves for the poor decision they made. Because if it was a card shuffled into a deck, it's immediate. We shouldn't have shuffled that card into the deck.
Yeah.
If it's something that happens in the app, I don't know why this happened, and my first impulse might be to blame the app and be like, oh, it bugged out, oh, it shouldn't have done this, oh, it hates me.
Which is my indication. That is my, that's what I think happened.
So that's a caution of, I think, if you're developing an app-enabled game, is just go overboard in making it clear why things happen.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that might be one of the reasons why board game apps are popular, is because a board game app in an app is still showing ideally it's showing all the same feedback that it would be showing if it were on a physical board. So it's easy for players to see why things happen.
Yeah, because it has to.
So maybe, take inspiration from board game apps when you're designing your board game app companion and servicing as much as possible to the player.
Yeah, especially if you plan on using that app to have kind of a living rulebook for the game, which I think is the plan on this. Anyway, I could critique the heck out of that app, but that's just... Steve is an app developer as well. I'm a web developer, and Steve's an app developer, so we could critique the heck out of that. But,
well, I'd also say, by and large, it did resolve one of the criticisms of Robinson Crusoe, which was you could just draw all the bad events right
No,
away.
it's not a bad implementation. I think it's another one of those things where I definitely think it improved the experience of the game, because setup on this is already involved, and I just can't imagine if we also had an event deck that we had to balance, and it was, like, crazy and all this other stuff. I just think that the medium of companion apps for board games is still growing, and this is still kind of an earlier app. And you also have to realize this is a pre-release copy, technically. This is a pre-ordered release. These were limited copies. Kind of only the hardcore people got these.
It was, what, using 3,000?
Yeah, they're using this definitely as like a playtest system for their app, because it's a real life thing that they they couldn't really test to this extent in blind playtests. So it's a grain of salt. At the same point, if you're watching this feed in the future and like these rules questions that we ran into have been answered, just know that we're human. The rules are a little tough with the flow. Rodney's video came out yesterday, and yeah,
and
there's a lot to track.
There were also definitely times in the game where instead of looking everything up, we did look some things up, but we were like, we'll just do it. Like, we'll just let you pull apart from a shutdown thing, and we'll look it up later. And I think when you're playing this game, you should just do that. Just figure something that makes sense, and then go back and figure out the thing later. Yeah. Your game will just take too long. Might take too long if you have to look everything up.
Yeah, so. And at the same point, it's also just like, if it makes sense to you in the moment, just do that. I feel it's better. Me personally, I prefer to just play the games, and like we don't use these streams as the end all be all on like how to play a game. And actually, if there's a rules collection and it hasn't been mentioned in the comments yet, please do mention it, because we do get rules wrong in these streams. Like we apparently put the boats in roads wrong, like the wrong orientation, which drastically changed the piece of the game. So like it happens, and we're human, and when it's a complex game. This is why I don't make fancy how to play videos, because there's too much to happen.
Thank you to folks in chat that did help us out with some rules, errors, and
before
things.
They got really laggy.
Yeah, and before it got bad. Like, for example, the fact that we got power back when we resolved shutdown tiles. So, like, it really helps having you all here to help us play it correctly or correct-ish during playthroughs.
But we hope that gives you kind of an idea of what this game is like to play. Steve, what do you feel about this game aside from the criticisms? Do you like it? Was it worth the wait? Steve has been excited and waiting for this game since it was announced.
I definitely haven't. I almost didn't want to get Robinson Crusoe because I wanted to play this first. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited with it. I think it's definitely a game that I'm going to need to play more standalone missions, because my goal is to be able to play the Legacy campaign with having most of the rules clarifications and like strategies kind of pretty much answered. So there's 3 different types of things. There's the exploration, building, and research standalone missions. So I'll probably want to play a couple of the other missions.
I think you should just play each one once.
Well, yeah, so I want to play the other missions once, and then I want to tackle... Maybe there's 2 campaigns. I don't know which one I want to tackle first, but I definitely want to play
do the one that's not Legacy. Do the easier one.
Yeah. I'll do the simpler, easier campaign, and then there are actually. There's like these big envelopes that have.
They're part of the campaign.
Yeah.
That's the Legacy campaign. So there's a standalone campaign that isn't Legacy, and then there's one that is Legacy, which has envelopes that go with it. But yeah, so are you excited for this game? Are you still interested in playing it?
Yes.
Do you enjoy it? Because this isn't a Tiffany game. I spent 4 hours today learning this game, playing it on my own, watching the 50-minute Rodney Smith video, reading the rules, rereading the rules, and playing a game. And it was 4 hours for me to do that. So I was like prepped and ready for the stream, because we're doing the stream a week early because some stuff happened. And I told Steve, I messaged him an hour and a half into this experience, and I was just like, this isn't my kind of game. I just don't. I will learn it. I will play it with you. I will play it for him, for the internet and the stream, but I honestly do not think I will play this game again. I think Steve will be playing this without me.
And I like how it plays solitaire.
And you know what? I played it solitary, and I liked how it played solitaire too. So maybe we just won't play it together.
But my main things with this game were just it took a lot of work to get to this point, which was I also watched I think half the Rodney video because I did.
Yeah, he was at work, so
I watched half the Rodney video, read the rulebook twice, played a solitaire game, read through the FAQ and both the rules and the app. And so it's definitely something you're going to have to put the investment in before you get to the point that you're going to be able to play the campaign. But
there's a lot of solo games that are out there like that.
Yeah. And so in terms of how it plays co-op and solo, ultimately this is a game about action selection and risk mitigation. And the core mechanic of the game is, do I spend more of my action tokens and don't roll dice and don't have a chance, or do I spend less and take the risk? And that engine works really well. And I think that's definitely what I want to keep playing because of just how many things that can happen and how many different failure cascades that can happen. The failure cascades in this are more intricate by far than in Robinson Crusoe, and I think that's where the fun of this kind of game is just one thing goes wrong and then everything starts piling up, and there's only so much you can do about it.
It is almost kind of like a pandemic-esque, like, piling on of horribleness. Yeah.
Yeah, and what thing can I ignore? What thing do I have to deal with? And I find that fun, and there's just a lot that
I don't.
And I think that's where our opinion differs on the game. I enjoy dealing with those cascades and trying to mitigate them either in the moment or in advance or whatnot.
Yeah. Well, and I just get frustrated with you, as is clear from this footage. Well, and I get frustrated with the game, and then I get frustrated with Steve because his priorities are different than mine in a lot of these games, which is fine. I mean, I just, this isn't a game I would choose to play with by myself, or even with people I loved. So, for me, it's an interesting system. I do enjoy it more than Robinson Crusoe, which isn't saying, like, a ton, because I don't enjoy Robinson Crusoe either. But I do enjoy the way the systems work. The theme is a bit more nerdy and in my, like, wheelhouse of nerd factor. I, at one point, was kind of bummed when I was playing the game by myself that I had to keep building this stupid stuff. I just wanted to explore Mars. Like, I literally just wanted to not have a soul tracker. I wanted to not have, like, cascading events of horror. I just wanted to be like, how many rounds will it take me to do this thing that I need to do and not have anyone die? Like, I genuinely wanted to have that experience, which the game just isn't built for. There isn't anything, like, people are meant to take wounds and, like, things are meant to go bad and things are meant to, like, happen where somebody could die. And that just doesn't interest me. I'm more of a Rosenberg fan, where, like, sure, you might have to beg so your family doesn't starve, but no one dies. You know what I mean? And so, I'm sure somebody will come out with, like, a Care Bear variant of this game where it's less about the perils of being on Mars and more about, like, we're scientists, we research this stuff. How many rounds to do this awesome science thing? Also, no one can die. Like, and that would be really cool, and that would totally be my wheelhouse with this kind of game. But, like, that's not what this is. That's not kind of the audience that it's written for. There is still the element of danger. Like, there's a choose-your-own-adventure book in the thing, and the day we got it, Steve and I played it, and Steve was reading the story, and something happened in the story, and Steve was like, that is not where I was thinking this would go. And I was like, oh no, I knew this was going to happen the minute you said there was a choose-your-own-adventure book from Ignacy, or from Portal Games and the thing. Like, Portal Games produces 51st State and Hiroshima Hex and Cry Havoc and like Rattle Battle, and their games are very thematic, and people get hurt and people get injured, and it's not about, like, a balance of wits and stuff like that. So, like, from a plot standpoint, there's some very obvious things that, in my opinion, will happen, and thus they happen in this game, which is people get hurt, people die.
Yeah.
Bad stuff happens that is kind of excessive beyond just the perils of science on a foreign planet.
One thing I would also makes sense is, like you're mentioning, in a Rosenberg game, you often start with nothing and you build up. And it's about who can build up to something better faster.
Yeah.
And in this, maybe something like Pandemic or Forbidden Island, everything is there and everything works, and the game is about mitigating this sort of decline.
Well, Pandemic, everything works, and then it's not a decline, it's just literally explosion of disease.
Well, right, but I mean, everything slowly gets worse. And in this, we have all of these wonderful systems, and they get, everything gets worse, and we're trying to mitigate that.
Well, it gets worse, but also, like, it gets worse exponentially, which I think it makes sense to a standpoint. I don't know. It's, thematically, this game, it's kind of, there's two layers to the theme, I feel. There's the, we're on Mars, stuff is happening, we have to deal with it, we're also trying to advance science. Like, that's the Mars thing. Then there's the, like, stuff's really going bad on Mars, y'all. Like, stuff's haunted. Like, they're not actually haunted, but, like, things are excessively failing. A little bit beyond what I would feel NASA would deem excessive, like, like, actually happening. Like, we were doing the Choose Your Own Adventure, and I annoyed Steve because I kept making the decision that NASA would do. And, like, Steve pointed out that if NASA was actually running the mission, like, we wouldn't have gone past the first paragraph. Like, literally, like,
they would have scrubbed it.
Like, NASA would have scrubbed the mission, people would be coming home, like, it wouldn't be happening. Like, if you've read Mark Watney, like, The Martian, like, literally, like, it wouldn't matter. And the problem is that I want to go NASA on this.
Yeah.
And I can't. And it annoys me. And I'm just like, I think if somebody could turn this into a Rosenberg, I would be happy. But it's not a Rosenberg, and that's not what it was designed to be. And that's fine. This game was designed to be what it is, and it does it well, I think, from the very mediocre plays that we have. And it's not my kind of game, and that's totally acceptable.
I think also, in that case, like, don't be afraid to play it on easy and don't feel like you're not getting the experience, because I think the experience you're getting on easy, the missions all have, like, optional objectives, and if the enjoyment that you want is...
Yeah, I explored and had fun for the optionals, and then I realized that I was going to starve, and I was like, oh, this isn't fun anymore.
And also that probably was because, yours was a little harsh. But... play it on easy and try to get all the optionals if you don't want to be worried about everything falling apart and everything dying. Like, you don't need to play it on the hardest setting to be, like, the true experience.
Yeah. But if you want stuff to happen, play it hard mode. That's cool. There's also a thing called the designer play, where Ignacy has rules that he feels should be enforced from his standpoint, but not everybody agrees. They're in the app. So, for example, on this one, you need to optimize the building of your seed, which you can start doing as soon as you have a farm. But Ignacy's design tweak is that you can't do that until you've planted the seed, which is actually how we ended up playing. But it's not how you have to play, it's just how he would prefer for, like, the experience.
And if you want to play something differently, you can be your own Ignacy, and you can come up with those tweaks on your own.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in this game, so do what you want.
Yeah. By
that token,
can you design this to be more Rosenberg-y for me? Just tweak it.
Yeah, I'll just take the tweaks action. So, by that case, maybe you would enjoy some of the other scenarios.
Maybe,
one of the exploration ones. It could be that because of the way this one is set up. Like,
I think I would just probably enjoy most of the standalones on easy.
Yeah.
I think easy is where I would like to do stuff. Just to see if I can build it within a time constraint without having to worry about somebody literally dying. Like, that would be great. But that's just how I play these kind of games.
Yeah, you want to get 100%, not squeak by at 51%.
I'm playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, okay? You have to understand, I'm the kind of person that instead of, like, taking my super awesome, amazing horse and riding on the roads where, like, bad guys could come at me, I would literally just spend 3 days, literally 3 in-day games, climbing over a mountain to avoid one little nest of bad guys. Because I was like, I'm good. And so I am amazing at climbing, and then I eventually got enough monster points by killing, like, the really easy guys that I could sell them to buy a super awesome thing that lets me ride on my horse now around on the roads wearing this thing that makes the monsters totally ignore me. So that's the kind of gamer I am.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So... yeah.
How many malfunctions did we get this game? Sorry, we need to end this
I
stream,
accidentally shuffled some in. I was kind of waiting to see... oh, good. Okay. I think they got to the end of when we won.
Oh, wow. It's really bad tonight. We're sorry. Sorry it's bad tonight, y'all.
Yeah, success. We just
2,
won
3,
for them.
4.
So I think it's only 10 minutes.
1, 2, 3.
I say the time at some
1,
point.
2, 3. It was 9:25, I think, at some point when we had already won. So I think they are like 45 minutes behind. Sorry, it's buffering like crazy.
Oh wait, here. I'm gonna tell them to put the time in. Because I will tell them the time that they see this. So we'll do that trick. I don't think this is alive. Hey, join the stream on the iPad.
Well, I'm just gonna...
just chat. Say, I'm typing this at 9:57. There you go.
Oh wait, but
no, because they'll see it when I said that.
Okay. So
hey, they just said it's 9:25. Hey, Joy. Yep.
Okay.
So we're 30 minutes.
Well, thank you for watching.
Yeah. If you're watching this in the future, which actually everybody is, thank you for watching this stream. I hope this was helpful in some regards into like how the game flows and plays. Steve and I's marriage is fine.
It just things
We're
get
gonna
a
go
little
try
heated.
time travel. It'll be fine.
Things get a little heated when we're in close proximity on Mars. I'll say that. But
no, it just gets heated when we play co-op games that involve any sort of decision structure aside from like how many beans do we draw out of the bag. We do best if we play solo. If we play co-op games as solo, we do much better.
So with that said, do we need to leave the stream running for?
I think if I hit stop, it'll buffer. It'll clear the buffer for us. Also, these awesome felt bowls are from Nutter's Plays, and I love them. The more I use these bowls, the more I just want more of the bowls. And I ask her to make more of the play colors that we have. Just one in every color. Nutters, I need a rainbow. A rainbow of bowls. Oh, man.
Oh, but yeah, if you tune in now. Okay, so I just tuned into the stream, but of course it hasn't been buffering for me, so it caught up.
Oh.
So YouTube, it's up to date on YouTube, but I think some people are buffering in the past.
Yeah, so the buffer has to clear out, and then it'll be fine. Alright, we haven't eaten dinner, so we're gonna go do that. Thank you for tuning in and watching.
Speaking of running out of food.
Yeah, also sitting hurts for me. My back is still... things. Thank you for tuning in and watching. If you're watching this in the future, I hope this was helpful for you in some regards, both from the flow and possibly answering some rules questions. Again, rules might have been tweaked or changed since we played. There is already a difference in the knowledge between Steve and I. He learned this game 3 days ago, and I learned it today, and the differences on what he learned from the rules based on the FAQs and information that I got from the publisher and from Rodney Smith are already different, so there is that.
And there's some things we individually might have missed. So
yeah, and how we interpreted rules differently. So I would just recommend, if you're going to play this game, make sure you watch Rodney's video. It is 50 minutes long, but it is super comprehensive. And you can kind of just have it on the background, and if he says something that you don't understand, turn the camera over and watch it.
It's possible you might want to play your first game solo. So, like, if you're going to teach it to other people, maybe try to solo it first.
If
possibly.
the people you're playing with are comfortable with it being a learning game, do that.
Then, yeah,
it's at your discretion. But you also want to make sure that you read the FAQ that Ignacy is doing. Make sure you read the FAQ at the end of the rulebook. This is an investment of money. This is an investment of time. This is kind of one of those things that some hobby gamists forget about, that you are spending a lot of money on an investment that took somebody hundreds of man-hours to develop, and no matter how amazing they are at rule writing, you are not going to sit down and understand a system in half an hour. It's just not possible. This game is meant to be designed and played and provide maybe not hundreds of hours, but tens of hours of enjoyment, and you need to put the investment time into it to get those hours of enjoyment. If that doesn't sound interesting to you, it's probably not the game for you.
Yep, I know
and there's lots of other games that will fill that.
There are certain Euros and things that we play that you explain it, it's similar to other stuff. There's not...
But there's like a cascading knowledge that you need to make that work. And for this, the cascading knowledge on this game is Robinson Crusoe. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say on that. Thank you for watching. I'm really sorry for everybody that was watching live and there was lag. The laptop overheated, which is funny because the fan didn't kick on. We're looking at potentially getting a new computer for me that can also do streaming. This computer is 7 years old? 6 years old.
I don't know. We can look it up.
We're going to look it up. This computer is old, and I spilled a bunch of water on it, and it's been having some problems since I did that. So I'm really sorry, everybody. But hey, you don't pay for it, so whatever. If you want to pay for it, support me on Patreon. I don't charge for streams, so I don't know why I haven't mentioned that. Thursday's stream will be Bonsai the Duel.
Bonanza the Duel.
Bonanza the Duel. I can't say that game
Right. Bonsai the Duel would be about plant growing.
Which I might enjoy. Bonanza the Duel, which is about plant growing. Also, could be bonsai. There you go. Anyway, that will be Thursday's stream. We might do a bonus stream on Thursday. Next Tuesday, I hope to be doing Rhine River Trade with John. We were supposed to do that today, but he couldn't make it. Something came up. And that game really is not as interesting two-player. There's some very key things that involve player interaction, and we did a short play of it last night at two-player, and we were just like,
we wanted a third player to, yeah.
It's another one of those games where it says 2 to 5 on the box, but...
It plays it too, but, for the fighting over who gets to go first, you want 3 players to make that fun.
Yep. Okay,
G Club asks which scenario did we play, and it was Make Yourselves at Home, which is the introductory scenario.
Alrighty. We're gonna shut down the stream. I'll hang out and chat while Steve makes dinner, and we'll see y'all on Thursday.
If it says anything, I kind of want to play a different scenario now, because we've both...
You totally can play another scenario
I think
tonight.
I might.
I need to lay on the couch.
We've both played Make Yourselves at Home twice, and now I kind of feel like I want to get the flavor of another scenario.
Alright, Steve's going to play another game tonight. He's going to tweet about it. Thank you for watching. The stream is at 3 hours now. That is long enough, and we will see you Thursday. Bye.
Okay, bye all.
The lag is so bad. Okay, so I just am going to hit stop.